Alrighty, Hotfix Nation, welcome back to the Games Done Quick channel and to Hidden Heroes. Now, before I do any introductions, we've got to address the rather me-shaped elephant in the room. I'm not your usual host for Hidden Heroes. Anarchy, as Fortnite, if I were to give her full government, is not around for hosting, so we're sending all of our love over to her. If you can get some love in the chat, we love Anarchy. But no, unfortunately not able to host for this, but I've stepped in for an episode that I'm very excited to be stepping into. Hidden Heroes, of course, is the show where we showcase speedrunners who are part of marginalized communities and the games that they're passionate about what they want to show off. Before we go into that real quick, the eagle-eyed of you, the sports fans, might know that I'm wearing a German football kit. We have some very exciting news, which I feel very privileged to be able to kind of debut. If you've seen our social media, you will already know, but we have got Gamescom GDQ. This will be taking place August 28th to the 30th, live in Cologne, Germany, not Hamburg. If you thought that was, well, this is Hamburg, but Cologne. So you can join GDQ's first European event by submitting your runs from May 4th to the 17th and visit gamescom.global for more info about the event. So I'm very excited about that, but I am also just as excited. I was about to quantify more or less. I am just as excited for the show that we have got tonight. I'm very grateful for Anarchy for letting me come on for the Sonic episode, because people know that I am Sonic wild. We are going to be seeing Sonic and the Secret Rings later on with Kuro Asterisk. It's a bedtime story, certainly for me, because it's quite late over here. But before that, we are throwing it back with one of the games of all time, an all-time classic, some might say. We are going to be with Supersonic, showing us Sonic 3 and Knuckles. We're going to be going for all the shiny things. We're going all emerald. Supersonic, how are we doing?
I'm doing great, Hibby. Thanks for having me. Hope you're doing well at this time of hour. I know it's like midnight over where you are. But I'm pretty honored to be able to showcase one of my favorite games of all time, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And we're going to be grabbing all 14 emeralds in this game, which is 7 Chaos Emeralds, 7 Super Emeralds. And I do have Joey Baby and Sound Defense on commentary with me. Feel free to introduce yourselves, my dudes.
Hello. Joey here. I thank you for having me for comms. This is going to be a fun run to watch and kind of spectate as you go along this run.
Hey, I am the Sound Defense. I am very excited to be here. Joey Baby here, he is the Sonic 3 and Knuckles part of the commentary, and I am the All Emeralds part of the commentary. So together, we mesh perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be playing the game, so I probably may not be talking too much, especially during the special stages, because we're going to be doing some pretty interesting strats in the special stages themselves. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get started here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Good luck.
Good luck.
I'll need it.
All right, so this is once again Sonic 3 and Knuckles. We're gonna go through, I believe, 14, 12. I actually forgot the zone name, the zone numbers actually, but quite a number of zones for 14 individual emeralds, so double the amount of Sonic 2, and that's gonna require Supersonic to remember a whole slew of different movements for these special stages. And here we have a special stage. I'll throw it over to Sound Defense here.
All right, so we took absolutely no time in breaking the special stages. It was the very first thing we did. So what you just saw was Supersonic doing what's called the blue sphere glitch. So normally, this is what you're supposed to do right here. To turn these spheres into rings, you walk along the outside perimeter of the shape. But at the very first square he did, he was able to do some weird diving around inside, jumping in, jumping back out, and it still turned them into rings. Basically what's happening is we are abusing a bug in the algorithm that determines if there was a shape made. We convinced the game that spheres on the outside of a shape are actually on the inside of a shape, and so a lot of things turn into rings that aren't supposed to turn into rings. It's weirdly technical. I don't fully understand how it works. There are details online if you ask me about it later.
I just know how to do them. I don't know how it works either.
Yeah, there's a lot of technical jargon with it, and trust me, folks, it's gonna get a lot more complex. There's gonna be a lot of moments where you're gonna think Supersonic should have failed the stage, but he has it all under control. Surely, hopefully, yeah.
I hope.
Anytime he dies or resets the game, it will be on purpose. We guarantee it.
Oh, totally.
Oh, absolutely. So we're gonna get a good couple of emeralds in Angel Island Zone. We're gonna go straight into Emerald 2 here.
Ooh, excellent. So yeah, you saw the blue sphere glitch. That was step 1 of speedrunning a special stage. You're now about to see step 2 of speedrunning a special stage, which is ignoring the red spheres. So yeah, these big seas of red spheres, they're big, they're imposing, they're scary. They're not actually as scary as they look, as Supersonic just showed. The hitboxes for red spheres are actually drastically smaller than they look. They're almost tiny little points. So you can get very close to these things without actually taking damage. You can jump through them with good timing. You can jump a very long distance through them, actually. That is going to be something that we're going to be seeing quite a fair bit of if the first few stages here are any indication. I am so proud.
All of this does still freak me out. Like I've seen you run this Supersonic. I've seen you do spend a lot of time with different characters in this TSD. It's still even we haven't got to like the super like stylish stuff yet, but yeah.
I actually am not sure how far Supersonic is going to go with it, and I'm excited to see.
We'll see what we can do with that.
Yeah, I think Sound Defense and I have a little bit of expectations. How deep the special stage move is going to be and how tricky he's going to do some glitches in the run. Excited for that.
Yeah, for sure. Wow.
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 108 is pretty darn good for Angel Island.
All right, so we're going to be heading into probably my favorite special stage in the run.
It's definitely my favorite special stage.
Hopefully I don't screw it up.
It's okay, I screwed this up live on the GDQ stage, so can't get worse than that.
I'm punching for you, Super, so you don't have to.
I think
Very nice, yes. I like where this is going.
Nice.
He could route this a little more safely and go lose just a tiny amount of time for much safer strats, but honestly, where's the fun in that?
Right?
Oh, that speed
Yeah,
up
all
there
right, here's the hard part.
Alright, this is quiet time.
Oops. Okay.
Oh, very
I
nice.
made
Very
What
well
a
done.
pro.
Okay, we got the hard part out of the way.
Splendid.
Beautiful to watch.
That's excellent.
Just a little bit of a flub there with one of the rotations, but we managed to kind of get back on track with that. So.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
pulling it
no.
back is like, that's super impressive.
Pulling it back while going in reverse.
Oops, nice straight jump.
Astrophysician in chat asks, does this category include beating the game? Yes, it does. In fact, this is one of the only categories that shows the very final level of the game. There's almost no other category where we see it.
I was about to say, truly beats the game. Unlike all those frauds and beat the game. Joey.
True. Absolute fraudulent.
Nice job using the bounce off of the item box to get... don't fall.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, good. I'm pretty certain there's a way to get crushed if you like jump in between those rocks
Oh,
that like spawn in the waterfall.
You absolutely can. That's happened to me so many times. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
I
usually... Yeah, go ahead.
Although I was just gonna say, like, I don't think I got the proper speed to actually get the slope jump there, but yeah, I have gotten crushed there before too.
Yeah, if you take a lower jump there, try to speed directly into the cave, there is a chance if your timing is off that you just get crushed between a couple of appearing platforms, which is a problem only with Sonic. Tails does not have this issue. Oh.
All right, that's good.
Perfect.
To this day, I don't know why that happens, but it's really cool.
If you want to know more about why it happens, you can go to taskvideos.org and look up the Sonic 3 All Emeralds task by Jujamoy. He has got a bit of a breakdown as to how exactly the glitch works.
That's a name that I have not
Yeah, we got a
heard of.
couple of technical masterminds and that works behind the scenes for this game. Presum is also a very veteran tasser for this game that's found a lot of big discoveries in this game. Shoutouts to him. Supersonic will be doing a couple of glitches that has been founded by Presum. The Marble Garden level wrap will be one of those, so we'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, and then if I don't get the level wrap in Marble Garden, I could go for the backup strat too. And then also I will be giving myself 2 attempts for the boss fight because you can potentially soft lock in there, and I do have a backup save ready for that. So that's just a precaution pretty much, but hopefully we don't need to use it.
All right, so if this were an any percent speedrun, he would be doing some memory manipulation right here to mess with the ending cutscene. But because this is an all emeralds run, that memory manipulation actually becomes impossible. So he's just gonna skip the cutscene the normal way. With the reset button.
Yeah, certain cutscenes after the end of an Act 2 boss is much longer than just resetting the game because the game saves your state at the end of an Act 2 time bonus. So if Supersonic resets the game on like pressing the reset button on the console after the Act 2 time bonus has depleted to 0, he can just go straight into the next zone through the file select.
Yes, remember that because it's going to be very important later.
I see our producer for the day has decided not to cause a war in the chat. There's no poll about Hydro City today, but I'm sure people will debate. Happens
Well,
every
now that you
time.
mentioned it, there probably will be one now.
Surely not. Surely producers don't take up challenges that are given by showrunners. Surely.
Well, if he wants to take it up, he's only got like a couple of minutes to do it.
True, we are speeding.
Oh, you're doing... Oh, my goodness.
I'm clenching. Supersonic, don't do that.
Oh, that's so fun. So, yeah,
That looks like fun. That looks like torture. What was that?
So, that is another trick. I genuinely don't know exactly how it works. It has something to do with lining up a couple of precise turns, and if you do the movement correctly, like for one turn and then for the turn following that, and you do a precise jump, for some reason you can land on a red sphere, turn, and then jump out of it again without actually leaving the special state. I am mystified. And he actually lost a bit of time doing that, some fraction of a second, but absolutely worth it for the swag.
It's the swag
Yeah.
that counts, of course.
Oh, yeah.
All right, it's time for this boss here. I got 2 at least.
Get some rings. Okay. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's very tricky to get multiple hits on the boss because its missiles is constantly rotating and those hurt boxes are like shuffling around the boss. So it's just getting a very tight timing to hit the boss without them ever colliding to you. Like, it is possible to get all 6 hits off screen, but it's pretty difficult. All right. So here we're gonna have the first big Supersonic why'd you die moment in the run. Oh, look, you die. Why'd you do that?
Supersonic, why'd you die?
Right.
Totally intentional.
So that death is intentional. That is to unload Act 1 from memory. So that allows Supersonic to hit the far left boundary. So if Supersonic did the movement he just did there, he can sink into the floor and level wrap, which basically is underflowing his X coordinate, which basically makes his X coordinate to a very high positive number. So he's put into the far right portion of the level. And for a lot of levels, which we'll definitely see during Marble Garden, there's a lot of remnants of Act 2 that will be loaded in, and just a lot of junk area that is loaded in that Sonic can stand around. So as long as Supersonic is able to get the screen fixated to where the boss arena resides, which is why Supersonic spin dash jumped off screen, it's able to get Sonic to be put into the position of the boss area, which basically skips the whole level.
Yeah, once the camera passes over the boss arena, the game will teleport Sonic into it, which is great, because otherwise he would just be stuck soft-locked at the very end of the level in Garbage Land.
Absolutely. Oh my god. You got it. Okay. So there's so many things happen there. So Supersonic performed a screen wrap, which is exclusive to very few levels of this game, which are levels that infinitely scroll vertically. So if Supersonic pans the screen down and jumps, the screen will scroll one single time, and that will basically make all objects unloaded. Very nice. And that allows Supersonic to clip into a slope off screen, which usually resides a spring, which eventually reloads to clip you into the slope, and it performs a level wrap. And as I said before, there's a lot of remnants of Act 2 still loaded into Act 1, and we're going to use that to our advantage because, as you probably have noticed, we're still in Act 1 of Marble Garden Zone, but we're fighting the Act 2 boss in a very broken part of the level. The triggers that loads the boss fight is still present, and is just getting there in a really premature time of the level.
Yeah, it turns out Marble Garden is too big to fit into Marble Garden, and so part of Marble Garden 2 technically exists in the map of Marble Garden 1, which is why this complete nonsense is possible. And you perfectly navigated Sonic to not be crushed by this thing that could potentially kill him after he's defeated the boss. Someone in chat says Sonic is completely broken. You haven't seen anything yet.
That's just the beginning.
I will always call that strat the biggest party trick in the run. If you want to have someone be amazed, that is the one level to show someone. All right, so right after that, we have a new glitch called a wheel glitch. Supersonic's gonna graze his Sonic into the wheel there, which will maintain the properties of the wheel outside of the wheel's general boundaries, which gives him really skewed gravity, which if he stands on a certain bit of geometry that makes him walk to the left, he'll move fast to the left as if that's where the ground is, and it'll make him go so fast that it'll make him bypass the left screen boundary. And it puts him into the end of the level here with the boss, but he still has the wheel glitch. And as long as Supersonic does not jump, he will not lose this glitch state, which he's gonna use to his advantage for Act 2. So what Supersonic's gonna deliberately do is to manipulate this top to not fall off so he doesn't jump. So he's gonna continuously, yeah, so unfortunately in this situation, Supersonic has to somehow find a way to land on this topper without jumping, which is looking a little...
I think we are in big trouble here.
Yeah, I may have to jump here. That's fine.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Last hit as well. Almost.
Yeah. So what could have happened if Supersonic wasn't able to jump for that whole fight is that he can maintain the wheel glitch, which will allow him to basically skip the entirety of Act 2 of Carnival Night. That can allow him to clip through the ceiling and just zip all the way to the end of the level. But unfortunately, because he had to jump, that will require Supersonic to play out the rest of the zone relatively glitchless.
Which is fine. I can do this. It'll just be like, what, a minute or two, probably?
Yes, it's still a very quick zone when you're speedrunning it. Ow!
Oh,
that's unlucky.
I never took damage from that before.
Greater routing. But yeah, it's something we didn't allude to before. This is a very difficult run. Generally, with the fact that a lot of tricks in this game is very punishing when it comes to overall time loss. You can have tricks that lose you potentially minutes if done incorrectly, because something that hopefully doesn't happen at some point in this run. What I mentioned before, levels that end at the end of an Act 2 time bonus, the game will save your progress into the file select. The one thing that didn't happen for Marble Garden is that we technically did not beat Marble Garden Act 2. So if Supersonic would happen to soft lock, or he would have to reset before he gets to the end of Carnival Act 2, if he resetted the game now, he would actually have to do Marble Garden again, because the game never properly saved his progress as if he beat in Marble 2 due to the glitch. So these are the scenarios where it's punishing if you mess up dearly in a strat like this, if the outcome happens to be a soft lock, which thankfully it's not. So we can at least play out through the rest of this level so we can get to Ice Cap safely.
Right, which is another whole can of worms, of course, Ice Cap.
Yeah, there's more jargon with that one.
Even if he had maintained the wheel glitch, it is very easy to accidentally drop at the wrong point, miss a single input, and then lose everything and have to do the stage normally. Like Joey said, it's a very punishing run.
But I guess on the flip side, we will see the Barrel of Doom.
Yeah. There's always a bright side in everything.
Oops.
Hello, Barrel of Doom.
Come on, fellas, don't lie. You were stuck at this.
I admit to nothing. Oh, nice jump there. If you do a jump right there, you can skip like 30 to 40 seconds of the level.
Yeah, good cooperative candy cane.
I gladly take that.
Ocean Storms asks, is there even a Sonic game you can't break? It turns out the answer is yes. Sonic 3D Blast. As far as we know, there are no useful glitches in that game that will improve the speedrun.
Likewise, in its
That
2D
is true.
counterpart, Sonic Blast. That is also, unfortunately, there's no way of glitching that to make it quicker.
Traveler's Tales were a peak at their craft.
Amen. Nicely done.
Unfortunately, that took me like maybe 30 to 45 seconds longer because of that weird hit that I took, but that's fine. At least we're out of there now. All right, so now we're heading into Ice Cap. We got 2 more emeralds left, so we will grab them here.
Very nicely, conveniently placed at the start of the level, right before we have to break everything. So.
Right, there's a lot of memory manip that really has that plays a factor in whether or not you get the slope glitch here, which I guess we are coming into that really soon. So slope glitch is a glitch that you see later on, but actually, you know what? We'll talk about when we actually get there. We got some special stages to do in a moment.
But I want to point out real quick that Supersonic was doing some jumping during the snowboarding section because he was trying to reduce the number of rings he collected. Because during the glitch that he's about to do, there would be a chance that he could turn into Supersonic, which would actually be the worst thing ever in the middle of that glitch. So he's reducing the number of rings he takes so that he does not transform mid-glitch. In the meanwhile, this route through this stage is the most bizarre, confusing thing. I mentioned the name Jujamoy earlier. He didn't discover the trick, but he figured out how the blue sphere glitch works, and he also was the one who routed all of these special stage routes with the glitch in mind. So he said that this one was the most difficult of all of them to glitch because it's so wide open and there's so many different ways you can go about it. And so this bizarre pretzel of a route is what he eventually came up with, which is, of course, breaking the stage into tiny pieces once again. So you can see this is not how you're supposed to do any of this.
Nice.
And that makes 6. We got 1 more of these to go before we have 7 more of them to go.
Mm-hmm.
This next
Head on down this way.
This next giant ring, weirdly enough, it is a load-bearing giant ring, for reasons that we hopefully don't have to explain. But yeah, for now, I'm just gonna let this special stage play out. This one is not terribly tricky as far as the special stages go, but there is gonna be some very precise jumping in a minute if Supersonic does what I think he's about to do. Ah, there we go. Excellent. He was doing the piano roll jumps to get those jumps off as absolutely soon as possible. Because if you're a little late on those jumps, you're not going to die, but you are going to miss one of the blue spheres right at the start of that run, and then you have to double back for it. So you really want to jump very nice and close. Let's see. So now we have all the Chaos Emeralds, which means we can transform into Supersonic. But we won't.
We will never see.
Nope. It's actually worse to transform into Supersonic.
I mean, we don't need to. He's literally just right there.
Okay, so I got to go back into that corridor again just to get my subpixels reset.
Nicely done. Okay, so we are now seeing the effects of slow glitch. So what happened just there is Supersonic timed his right press as the platform is moving towards the right, and for a few frames, he actually stood on top of the ice block that Supersonic eventually broke, which basically deloaded it off of Sonic's feet. So the game doesn't particularly know what Sonic is standing on, so it gives him a bizarre state where standing on a slope pertains the angle, which allows him to sink through the floor and all the walls and all this terrain. So he's able to level wrap all the way to the Act 2 portion of Ice Cap, which if you remember how Ice Cap 2 works when it comes to going into launch base, there's a snow tunnel that he can touch, and when he touches the loading zone, it sends Very nice.
Yeah, and there were other details that we didn't even have time to explain, because now we have another ridiculous glitch that's going to happen right here, involving this little robot bird.
Yeah, this is gonna fly, kind of puppet the flybot here, moving to the right, where there's an elevator resides. If the flybot hits Sonic into it, so in a damaged state, Supersonic is able to spin dash while in a rotating state in the elevator, which if he spin dashes off of it while he's into the ground, he can actually pop into the ground. And if he does right, he can sink right. Nice. He can exit off the elevator into the wall and just zip all the way to the left to underflow to initiate a level wrap, which will put him into the boss fight for this level, which, if you're familiar with the Sonic run, he should be fighting two of these guys. This is actually the Knuckles boss fight. So both boss fight for Knuckles and Sonic is loaded in, but Supersonic wound it up into the Knuckles version of this fight, which is gonna add a very interesting thing for this run, because the game is coded to only trigger the end of Act 1 when one boss is defeated, opposed to Knuckles having to defeat two. So Supersonic is able to keep one of them alive with 1 health remaining, and as long as Supersonic, very nice, as long as he kills the second one during the Act 2, that is Act 2 completed.
He defeated a boss enemy in Act 2, so Act 2's over, but now he's nowhere near the loading zone. How is he going to get to Mushroom Hill? But remember what we talked about with save files ticking over when the timer finished? That's what he's doing right now. He's resetting the game, and he's going back to his save file, and there's Mushroom Hill.
Very nice. As I said, you blink and you miss launch base.
That's my favorite trick in the game, because it shouldn't be possible. It's like 5 different glitches coming together in a beautiful Jackson Pollock of glitchery. Yeah,
and now we have some Super Emeralds to go, so we got a nice slew of new stages for Supersonic to go through and sound events to yap about. So I'll leave you guys to it, because I believe you gotta have a whole Mushroom Hill to talk about when it comes to this.
Oh goodness, yes. So, all right, now he gets to actually choose which emeralds he's going to do, and he's going to do the most difficult one first. And yeah, I would definitely agree this is the most difficult of the special stages. Maybe Special Stage 3 and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 part is more difficult than this, but this is really going to be rough. So at a certain point, once again, I'm going to stop talking and let him do his thing. But yeah, we are going through this backwards, the wrong way. Now it's going to be extra backwards. All right.
Oops. I can fix this.
There.
Oh.
Oh no! Oh, that
Almost.
is just barely jumping too early and hitting the enormously large hitbox for that bumper there. Those bumpers have enormous hitboxes. It's Very frustrating. So that was really exceptional right up until the very last jump there. Thankfully, there is a backup ring that he can pick up here in Mushroom Hill, so he's going to be doing that. And then there's also 6 other rings that he's going to be doing. If he's doing the route I think he's doing, we are going to get all 7 Super Emeralds in Mushroom Hill. Even with that error right there, he's still got enough giant rings here to pick them all up. And I have timed this many times, many different ways. I do believe it is faster to get all of the emeralds in Mushroom Hill than it is to do the 2 giant glitches that skip all of Mushroom Hill. Because they're just so conveniently placed on this perfect route through the stage. It's better just to get them on the way than to try and pick them up through the rest of the different levels in the game.
That's why Sonic 3 is the best.
Yeah, thankfully there's a bunch of backup rings if needed.
All right, here we go again. You got this. You got this. Oh, that time he jumped a little too late. So.
The dreaded red sphere.
Okay, so we will be short 1 emerald in Mushroom Hill.
That's a little frustrating. It's okay, though. That's still an amazing display of special stage chicanery right there.
Having to manage just where you are and just kind of articulating the timing without even being able to look what's in front of you takes a lot of time and patience.
And an enormous amount of practice as well. This is... Yeah. There are so many places in this speedrun where muscle memory carries the day. This is one of those, but like personally, I also know that I have to be, counting off spheres in my head in order to know I'm making a backwards turn at the right place. All right, here we go.
Actually, let me try something here.
Oh, we are. This is dangerous. Yeah. Abort. Go forward.
Oh wait. A little bit of a detour.
Taking the scenic route.
This scenery you're at.
Where's that at? It's over here, right? Where is it?
Yeah. At this point, he's just going forward through the stage because forget trying to back this up going backwards.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Hey.
All right. Wow. That was really... that was terrifying, but a fantastic display of keeping one's cool in the face of backwards adversity. Eastmaze says, is it really necessary for going backwards? As long as you ask absolutely no follow-up questions, yes. It is, in fact, more efficient, just barely more efficient to do that section backwards. Right. Wasn't there a floor there?
Kinda.
Floor where? I didn't see a floor.
Okay, so thankfully there are no more special stages that are going to be as difficult as that one. All the hard stuff's out of the way early, and now we get to see the silly stuff where he jumps backwards and turns on a yellow sphere, and oh god, no, everything's went wrong.
The minefield.
Okay. All right.
I think we're good here. Let's see. This one is...
Yes. You want to left there.
And then we're going to go left here.
Yes. You actually go double left here, and now we're back on the route.
Okay, yeah, we're fine.
So one thing I didn't mention before is one thing that we try to do where we can is avoid picking up a few rings here and there, because it's just another frame saved during the score countdown. I think I actually am really curious about this. Does it actually make a difference during the Super Emerald stages? when does the pan down start happening? I have to go through and get this figured out. I have to do some math.
Yeah, because I feel like it'll just go down like pretty much at the same time, even when you have a huge score countdown happening.
It might. I know that during the Sonic 3 special stages in the first half of the game, it absolutely does save you some frames, not picking up those rings, but that's a very good question about the second half of the game. All right, this boss. Normally, if this were an any percent run, he would be defeating this boss in a very bizarre way to initiate another glitch, but as we said before, it's more efficient to just keep collecting Super Emeralds, so no glitches for Mushroom Hill this time around.
Yeah, we get a little glitch detox for our zone here.
Enjoy it, because it's the last one you're going to get. Well, except Hidden Palace, but that barely counts.
It's also Doomsday as well.
Yeah, I guess that's true. There's no glitches in Doomsday. There's nothing really you're able to do in Doomsday.
There we go.
Now, is this the really gross-looking special stage? Nope, he's doing this in a different order than I do.
Yeah, I do the Aqua Fresh toothpaste first, and then I go on to the Emerald 4, which I call it the Golden State Warriors color palette.
The audacity of saying all that in a straight face is very impressive, I gotta say.
So the order that you do the special stages in doesn't really matter at this point. It's just personal preference with the exception of the very last one, and we'll get to that when it becomes relevant.
Oh god, you're describing this one as the not gross one, and like, it's not exactly disgusting, but it also isn't exactly pleasant. They did make some choices for the checkerboards.
So the first 7 special stages of the game, their color palettes line up with the original 7 stages of the game. If you insert Flying Battery after Carnival Night, which was the original plan. But then when they realized they had to make another 7 special stages, they, I guess, kind of ran out of ideas, and they just started hitting the random button in MS Paint or something.
Okay, so now I gotta go.
Where? Oh, okay. You went a different way than I go. But
Yeah, I was trying to
it's
get in
okay.
there.
Here we are again. And we're up. Is this the... Yes, the hyperactive seal stage, as Argic so eloquently put it.
Oh,
Like, right as you
These
said
all
that,
just have nicknames.
I'm just hearing Argic's voice, like, making the seal sound.
So do all these Sonic and Knuckles special stages have like very cute nicknames?
Maybe Argic has some, maybe HUD's, but
Oh, possibly, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, just from looking at the color palettes themselves, like, I try to associate them with, like, various things. Like, for example, the Emerald 4 in Sonic 3 half, it has, like, the color palette of Coca-Cola. And then, like, the 7th special stage in Sonic 3, it reminds me of the LA Lakers. And then, of course, we got the Golden State Warriors here. What else? We mentioned the Aqua Fresh toothpaste in the previous special stage, and then we're gonna see the ugly palette that Sound Defense is talking about on the next stage coming up.
Mm-hmm. Remember, you got to get that backup ring here. So
Yeah, I'll be going for that
okay, cool.
because we are down 1, so I have to get the other backup in. I believe Flying Battery 1.
That would make the most sense to me. Yeah. Which means that how much of Flying Battery 1 can you skip at that point?
About half of it.
Okay.
Because one of the big greens does line up with the glitch, so
Yeah, it's kind of in the way, so...
Oh, yeah, that one. Yes, I remember.
wait, the ugly palette.
Let's see.
Yeah, here we go. Feast your eyes.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, this is the Barney and Baby Bop stage. I refer to it.
That's as friendly as we can put it, really.
That really is just the most abysmal shade of green they could have gone for.
Yeah, like
I mean, whichever clicks your fancy the best. I could call this the Cosmo and Wanda color palette.
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Green and pink can be complementary colors. Just definitely, yeah, you're right. Not these shades.
No, these are not complimenting anything. These are insultory colors.
Thank God it doesn't take us long to get out.
All right, so there's one more big ring in this stage he's going to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody saying that was, they described that as the bath stage. Somebody saying the bloody clown show as well. There's a lot of creativity going on for that one.
Yeah, I mean, they're not wrong.
They are not wrong.
Rhubarb and custard. Yeah, chance on fire tonight.
Ooh, nice bounce. Uh-oh.
That bird. There we go. All right, now we're going into the orange cream soda special stage.
That sounds good. So this right here is the shortest special stage of all of them if you do it right. And Supersonic is doing it right. Let's hope his jump timing is really good. These can be pretty tricky.
There is one jump here that you can do, just go straight across, but I always mess it up, so we just kind of go around it.
No one but me does that jump.
Yeah, I think you're the one that does that.
It's not that... Okay, it is kind of hard. You need to know when to start your jump, and you have to piano roll in the middle, and... Okay, yeah, the timing's kind of precise, but it's not that bad.
I mean, we'll take it.
Alright, so now
that just leaves, at least one more emerald, which we could have gotten here, but since I messed up special stage 7 like 2 times, we'll just have to wait for hyper a little bit later. Also, another thing to know, once we receive hypersonic in this, there will be flashing lights warning because I will be doing air dashes, which causes the screen to flash white. So I just want to give that a heads up.
Good disclaimer. Yeah.
Oh, dang.
That's only 3 hits there.
If you do that right, you can get like 6 hits there before moving on to this phase of the boss fight.
Yeah, Robotic Exhaust Flames is, fire, so Flame Shield would be able to ignore those hitboxes, and Supersonic could just wail on the boss, but had to take a little slower there.
Mm-hmm.
But not too bad.
Astrophysician in chat asks, have you already explained piano rolling? I don't think so. So if you've ever seen a Genesis controller, it's got the 3 buttons all right next to each other, and all of them jump. So what we do, we just drum our fingers really quickly across the buttons like we're doing a glissando on a piano. And that's a piano roll.
And this is as intended by design and intended. So Supersonic, pan the screen down, spin dash quickly into the booster, and that was able to allow him to go really fast up to the shaft, which skips a really crucial trigger that puts Supersonic into ball form, and it allows him to uncurl in the mesh, which gives him a bizarre state, which makes him go through all the walls. That's a lot of green.
This one, you could probably go either way with this. It could either be the Lemon Lime Gatorade stage or Powerade, whichever you prefer. It could also be Sprite, 7-Up, Sierra Mist.
It's like a sour green apple kind of vibe.
Yeah, I don't know. I would go Sprite. I guess I just have a preference for Sprite.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, getting back to something I said earlier, I mentioned that this is the special stage that we always do last, and that's because it's the one that's in the center of the Hidden Palace area where we collect all of these emeralds. And what happens after you collect the very last emerald is the sparkles come in, they do the ding thing, and the emerald lights up, and then there's a nice slow pan back over to the center so we can focus on the master emerald lighting up. And at its worst, if your final emerald is on the very far left or right, that's an additional 4 seconds lost for no reason. So whatever order you get these in, always get the center one last. And now we can be hypersonic.
Alright, these didn't come up, but that's alright.
Thankfully, we're basically at the end of the stage at this point. There's very little left, just like a good 30 seconds before the mini boss.
As of now, I don't. I personally never found all the hyper or the super emeralds. I just found the chaos emeralds.
Gotcha. I mean, they're powerful enough. You don't want to overdo it.
The super emeralds have not existed since 1994, so it's understandable.
Yeah, so they're just
Can't say
kind of
I've-
dormant somewhere.
I can't say I've encountered super emeralds IRL before, so
If someone,
know how that
if
is.
someone does find them, please let us know. We'd love to do some experimenting.
Okay, he's gonna get into position here.
There we go.
all right. So the capsule actually deloads from boss capsule to an actual capsule, which basically just incorrectly puts him in a slopes glitch state. So now Supersonic is gonna try his best to manipulate his slope angle. Very nice. He's gonna zip down to the bottom of the level and
Oh,
zip to
did I
the
soft block?
Oh no!
Oh, that's possible. I believe that's a early slowdown. If you're high enough, it could get you caught somewhere, and if you jump, that puts you in that air pocket. So, like I said, so zones are saved. Well, the levels saved by zone. So if a reset's required in Act 2, then that would require Act 1 to be played again. But at least you can see what a full-on glitch Act 1 looks like without a special stage in the way. So it's not like it'll take the longest to get there.
Yeah, that's why I usually pause buffer when I am going down through there, because I'm a big scaredy cat, and I don't want this to happen.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna pause buffer this time when we get there.
Yeah, generally the timing is quote unquote reasonable, but the punishment of not getting it is so severe. It's basically, you just saw, it's pretty much playing out a whole level again. But having the pause buffer as a good utility, just in case, will be handy, just to ensure that we can get through it.
There we go.
Nice.
And there's
Oh yeah, Supersonic has to get Sonic in the right general Y coordinate to line up in the wall that has the most solidity to zip all the way to the right, which will allow him to get to the end of the stage correctly.
We've had a chatter come in and wonder whether this is on original hardware. Supersonic, what model of Genesis are you on?
Give me a moment.
Nice.
yeah, this is
There we go. So I am playing on the Model 1 Genesis, which is like the big one with the volume switch on it. And I'm using a 6-button controller for my controller.
Nice.
all right.
6-button gang.
Amen.
So now he's gonna hop up here and he's gonna get this giant ring because he wants those rings for what he's about to do. Somebody asked about Hypersonic's abilities. Here's one of them right here. You get the Hyper Dash, which makes a screen flash. That's a screen flashing warning, by the way. And
There we go.
you dash super fast in whatever direction you're holding. In fact, fast enough that you can outpace the camera and get on the other side of that laser wall and just skip that boss fight.
So we
lovely
have
weather
some,
we're having.
yeah, we have some clear skies with some glitched out clouds. Please be sure to put on some head protective gear to avoid any debris falling on top of your head. The weather will clear up in just a few moments. More at 11. Alright, so now we just gotta pretty much wait on for the boss fight here.
There we go. The clouds are once again clouds.
Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I went a little early.
Toasty! And there you go. He's losing his rings on purpose to save a little bit of time in the end bonus screen here.
There we go. All right.
All right, so Sand Obelisk is a very long level. It's very treacherous. There's a lot that goes on, especially in Act 1. You're gonna see a lot of cycles, a lot of movement, a lot of moving a lot of corridors and all that. So Super Sonic's gonna perfectly time a 2-tap spin dash followed by another 2-tap. And so, oh, there's a level. There's a level wrap right there. So that is, it's a an extension of another glitch called a stair clip, essentially. So it's kind of like a slope version of it. So if you have a very precise angle towards a slope, it clips you inside of it, but not fully. So the game kind of tries, it's like deciding whether or not you should be above the level or you should be synced inside. And in certain circumstances, it can just zip you downwards, and it just allows you to completely skip the level because it zips you so fast to the left that triggers a level wrap. And that was found, I believe, by DMTM, another tasser. Big props to that. But yeah, we had a lot of variations of that glitch in the past. There used to be a version where playing as Tails was required for that level. There was a method where you have to push a rock to manipulate Tails to push it down, and it zips Sonic through the wall by pushing a rock down. It makes you trigger a zip, but it's extraordinarily difficult. And that method was found recently. Well, recently as of like the most recent thing for that strat. And thank goodness for that, because it's a much more reasonably friendly strat to go for.
I've got a buddy who plays that stage a few times. You should probably show him that glitch. You might spend less time on it then.
Oh, I'm sure he's been there for like a good 5,000, 6,000 times.
Is he still on his end of the year?
He's still there.
Yeah.
All right, so remember what Joey Baby said earlier about infinitely vertically wrapping levels? We're going to be making some use of that here to do a quick level wrap and just make a couple sprites go away to bypass some walls. That's going to happen. I actually don't know how many times.
So right now, I was trying to go for a fire shield at the end of Act 1, but we didn't quite get it. So we're using the lightning shield, which is like the secondary method for what we're going to be going here is the loop clip. And I'm just going to go up here.
Nice first try. Nice. So the loop clip, if you manage to get Sonic into a very particular spot when he starts falling and you press the directional pad at the right time, then you can just sort of merge with the wall. And it's way more precise than it looks, but we have some nice setups for it. Supersonic did one of them, which is to stand in one place and jump at a certain point. There's another where you jump at the wall and use the lightning shield at a certain point.
Yeah, there's a lot of very cute little skips all around this level, but you do have to respect it. There's a lot of ways each individual clip can just go wrong. The biggest one being the loop clip that Supersonic got really cleanly. That can go wrong in a lot of ways. He could accidentally fall bottom route, which has to result into him raising the sand and basically play the rest of the section glitchless. And it's a really daunting level that can lose a lot of time if done if done a certain way. But that's a very clean display there. Very nice use of the Supersonic as well, dashing right down to the boss arena.
Oh, he makes this boss look so... Oh, that's so good.
There's another trick that you can do with Hypersonic. There's another route where you use Hypersonic's dash to jump upward through a sand waterfall, which leads to another really funny glitch right at the end here. And maybe you will see that in a future run at a certain point by certain people. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe it could potentially happen by a couple people.
I really need to dust this game off.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, you do.
Are folks possibly alluding to Summer Games Done Quick 2026?
I was actually alluding to another GDQ event that will be happening a little sooner than SGDQ 2026.
Splendid.
Keep your eyes on the GDQ channel, everyone. Oh. So while we were talking about absolute nonsense, he's been going through Lava Beef Zone. Pretty straightforward way, except for right now he's going to use the elevator glitch. And just sort of pop through there.
I didn't think I was going to hit the button like that.
The collision on those buttons is
yeah, what the
reassuring.
heck? That is the touchiest button. That's like the mechanical keyboard of Sonic switches right there.
Quite literally.
Yeah, most of this Act 1 is pretty normal. There is another way you can glitch to the end of it that's really, really difficult. Come on, are we going to see the pogo? Oh, dang it.
Tried.
We dropped the pogo. That's unfortunate. It was still very cool.
There is a trick that Super Sun's gonna humor a little bit after the end of this boss here. We call it monitor clip. There's a monitor that will pop out of the ground when the sign is positioned at this point. And I'm gonna see how this fares.
Oh, that's way too late. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
My first pause was like really off.
So it is possible to clip into the ground by positioning Sonic just under it. So Sonic has to uncurl from its ball form as soon as the monitor is just about to quote-unquote crush Sonic, which will basically make him clip into the ground because his hitbox just expands immediately after uncurling, and the game just decides to clip him to the ground because otherwise the monitor will push him down. But there's so many different results you can get out of it. You can get crushed, you can fall through the floor, and you can break it, as you saw earlier. It's a very precise trick. There's multiple setups that many runners have found throughout the years to hopefully find some method that makes it just somewhat more doable in a very comfortable setting. But alas, it's a trick that eludes a lot of people, and it's a daunting trick to go for in the end of a run, especially for something as time-savvy as monitor clip. You get a one try, and if you get it first try, or I guess your only try, it's like a good 50+ second time save.
Super Sonic is honestly one of the best performers of the monitor clip that I've ever seen. His success rate is really shocking.
Yeah. A lot of people make a lot of effort to like just perfect their consistency of it. It's a really important trick. In I guess top runs, of course, but it involves a lot of little trickery. And speaking of which, we got a little stair clip into an object phasing strat, which is the first time you saw it. So Super Sonic zipped so fast to the end of the level, into that tube, which is actually the Knuckles tube that the Knuckles normally gets to get into his hidden palace. And if Super Sonic double one taps really fast, he can actually bypass the end of the level through the wall.
Oh no!
Away, Knuckles fans.
Oh no.
Oh no! Oh no!
Can't believe you do this.
Oh jeez.
So yeah, that was Knuckles. And now we get to see this glorious scenery here where he's just jumping up to the altar playing his air guitar for Dr. Eggman to put down the giant ring pop, but to no avail, so he just chases after him. And then Knuckles tries to grab onto the giant ring pop, hoping he can bring it down, but Robotnik brings out these tentacle things to electrocute Knuckles, in which the back of his head is shaped like a butt. The end.
The end.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that.
Alright, let's see here. We have one.
Ah, that is not a complete Slinky.
Ooh, that does not count.
Yeah, that's cheater Slinky.
Alright, we are
One Slinky.
1 for 3 on Slinkies.
We'll take it.
Also,
Alright,
fun fact, it is faster to enter Sky Sanctuary without Tails, because you don't have to watch him get to the teleporter. So nice 1 second time save.
I think, is it still technically faster to bring Tails?
It is. That's the only instance it's faster. Well, I guess the Marble Garden boss capsule pressing, because you don't have to have Tails. There's a faster way to get to the capsule hit without Tails.
Alright.
Every other instance is faster with Tails.
Alright, and now it's time for another vertical level wrap. Very nice. And now we're basically at the end of the stage. So yeah, this is not only a level that wraps vertically, this is a level that's a little too tall for the game, and so they took the top of the stage and they put it at the bottom of the map. So if you jump through it by despawning a death plane the way he did, then you can just jump to the bottom, which is actually the top, which is pretty much the end, and now we're fighting Mecha Sonic. And there he goes.
gonna see one more final reset on the console once the timer hits 0. Skips a good 20 plus second long cutscene of Sonic going up the tower.
And now we get to experience the best music in the game. If you disagree, please leave a comment in the chat.
Yeah, so I was practicing the zip earlier, but I kept on failing it. So we are gonna take this route instead. I should be able to have enough rings to transform into hypersonic in Tails' route here. I gotta be careful I don't.
Got a leeway of 2 rings here.
Watching the missiles as they're going.
Just don't get crushed by these spikes.
Yep, I got crushed there before. And then we got this homie over here. Which are gonna take damage on this. All right, let's
Nice.
There we go.
Excellent. Yeah, that's supposed to be a Tails only route, but Hypersonic has the upward dash and is able to pull it off as well.
Yeah, and I also calculated the time difference. It's actually 10 seconds slower to take this route because there is a mini zip you can do, which is fairly difficult as well because you need to have Sonic pan down like with the camera, and you need to do like a jump right against the spikes, which will push you into the wall, and that'll allow you to skip like a huge chunk of the level. But at least with this backup, this is totally fine. Here we have Red Eye. We don't have clear eyes for him or anything like that.
Definitely one of the best pushes for running a category like this. The headaches of Red Eye is non-existent.
Red Eye is such a terrible boss fight in any percent. Just completely trivialized in all Emeralds. That reminds me, at one point, Supersonic, you were talking about us routing specifically 7 Emeralds through this game and racing that. That is still on my to-do list somewhere.
Same here. We got to get that going.
Yeah, intentional death, by the way. Supersonic wasn't being silly there. I mean, I don't blame. But yeah, that's gonna the same reason we did it for Hydro Act 2. We're gonna unload Death Egg Act 1, so we can perform a level wrap. We're gonna do everything that we need for a level wrap, but backwards. We're gonna unload the top or bottom of the staircase to clip him into the wall. We're going to make him fall and time a jump. And perfect. Very nice.
Oh, really well done. Holy cow. Even
that was the pauseless too. I would even dare to do that.
Not as easy as it looks.
You got the jump in on the first try.
Right? That was excellent. That was really good.
So here we have Uwu Bull. Don't make fun of his movies. He'll try to fight you. Anybody knows who Uwe Boll is? Like that movie director. It's probably like movies like Blood Rain, and that's all I know. I just remember reading about him.
Blood Rain, Postal, Alone in the Dark, House of the Dead.
Yep.
Everyone post their uwus. Everyone get into your mewing arc.
This is also the best strategy for fighting this guy right here. Instead of having to mess with the gravity, just spin dash and just delay your spin dash just a little bit after the thing hits the ceiling, and then jump, and it'll hit him pretty much every time, unless your timing is very slightly off.
So we got one final glitch. So Supersonic did something that you may have not noticed. That was a really severe, like crazy glitch he just did. He unloaded, he offsetted the ground's collision. So it's not going to be very noticeable now, but it will absolutely be noticeable on the second phase of this fight. So the left side, or I should say the right side of the screen, is actually the floor is basically non-existent. So it's shifted very far into the left. So you're gonna see the floor basically break from the left, and Supersonic is just gonna chill back and just hold on to spin dash, and he's just not going to fall. And that's gonna allow this second phase to be really simple to pull off. And the reason this is happening is because he spin dash towards the end of the loading zone, which basically pans the screen back, and it doesn't update, so it basically just unloads it, and you can see him being able to jump while completely airborne.
And time would be coming up, but we collected all of the emeralds, and so we have one more stage to go. The Doomsday Zone, the best completion bonus for any Sonic game that's ever been made. Don't at me, you know I'm right. So now...
Oh, you're right.
I agree, yeah.
So Supersonic is now very carefully navigating this ring field. He knows where the rings are. They're in the same places every time. And he's trying to get to them as quickly as possible without hitting too many rocks or missiles. Oh, that's okay right there. He's still got a whole bunch of rings here. 80 is a good number to have right about now. And you want to have a bunch of rings. Oh, that's perfect. You want to have a whole lot of rings going into this next part of the boss, because there's going to be no rings against this boss, so you have to be able to do it quick, and you have to have a lot of rings on hand to make sure you don't die. And let's see, what is his strat for guiding these? Oh, he is going right through the robot to try and get those missiles into the face as quickly as possible. That is... Oh, missed one slightly. He's going the long way around just to be safe.
Should hit him here.
There we go. That was very, very nice. The first 2 cycles were perfect. A little bit of a oopsie on the third one, but it worked out, and he's got so many rings. He is good to go. Also, here's something that a lot of people apparently don't know. If you press any button during this while you are hypersonic, you will dash forward and go faster. A lot of people don't actually notice. So now he's going to count to 8, and I think after the 7th hit, he might be hitting this guy from underneath to save just a little bit of time at the very end. Let's see. Yes, right there.
Yes.
By hitting him
time.
GG.
GG.
Well done. That was really very nicely done. But right there, what he did, he made the final hit from underneath, because after you make the final hit, there's once again a slow pan to get the egg robo into position where it can explode. But if you get underneath it, you can move it into that position much faster and save like a couple of seconds that way. And so yeah, you're manipulating right up to the very end of this game. Which, gosh, I love this speedrun so much. This was a great job, Supersonic. Very well done.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, despite the mishaps that we had with Special Stage 7 and the And Knuckles half, and some other like little mess ups, especially with Flying Battery as well. I mean, I'll gladly take a 102. Close to, you know, I mean, I have my estimate set to 110, so I still have plenty of wiggle room with this. So, but anyways, thanks everyone for watching in the chat. Thank you to Joey and Sound Defense for commentary as well. As far as like where to find me and all that, and I'm pretty sure I just took your question, Hibby. But you can catch me on twitch.tv/supersonic_. I stream Monday through Friday, do a lot of speedrunning content. We've been doing a thing called 12 games in 12 months, where we learn a new speedrun each month. And our next speedrun coming up will be Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster for May. We just finished learning this very game, but as Knuckles. So we were doing the glitchless category for that one. Actually, I will be taking a week break next week, but I will be back to streaming the following week on the 11th. So I'm going to do some more speedruns, and that is it for me. So I'll throw it over to Joey and Sound Defense for their shoutouts and such.
Yeah, but yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/Joey69. I think I run Sonic, at least sometimes. I've been on the Mega Man X speedrunning grind, which I believe is actually going to be showcased in a hotfix today. Well, joyous day. True. But yeah, currently grinding that out for a lower 35 time, so I am, you know, got some speedrun content myself, but yeah, that'll be fun. So yeah, thank you for having me for comms, Supersonic.
Yeah, of course.
You can find me at twitch.tv/thesounddefense. I promise I stream sometimes. I know I haven't streamed in like a year and a half, but I do in fact stream. If you follow me, you'll see some Sonic stuff. You might see some Lego building streams. But the big thing coming up for me is next week on GDQ Hotfix, I'm going to be on Skybills' show, Random Number Generation, and I'm going to be doing a Donkey Kong 64 randomizer seed, and I'm going to be completing a seed for the very first time. I've literally never beaten a seed before, but I'm going to do it for the first time on GDQ Hotfix within the time constraints. Watch, it's going to happen.
Crikey. Gosh, well, I mean, I feel like all three of these folks have done the job for me. They're telling you what's happening on Hotfix coming up soon. They've done their shout-outs. I can ask for better guests. Fellas, thank you so much. That was a a brilliant showcase. I know we kind of alluded it to earlier. I'll talk about the hotfix that we have ahead, but we've got a games list coming out on Friday. Has anybody been throwing their things into the ring for that? Supersonic, I know that you have because we've got a little something together. But what are you hoping for on Friday?
Well, I'm hoping to see at least the Sonic Jam easy mode relay get in, because that is going to be very interesting to see. But as far as like my personal submissions, I would love to have Sonic 4 Episode 2 co-op in there with HUDs. Since he is coming from the UK, and we would love to have him here. And we've been pretty much playing the co-op run for that game, and I would love to have that happen. And plus, my birthday falls on Friday during GDQ week, so I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. But yeah, I mean, besides all that, I'd be happy with any submission that gets in. If not, that's fine too. I mean, it's always nice to be able to hang out with friends at GDQ in person. So, but yeah, if it's definitely like any of the submissions, that'll definitely be those two.
Nice. I think TSD, you threw something in, right?
I did. I threw in one game. I threw in Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, all Dark Magic, all Heart Squids, which has never been seen on the big stage before. But I really hope it does. And I've got a fun donation incentive that I think people enjoy. I hope that pushes things in my favor.
Splendid. Well, folks, you're hearing a lot of excitement for Summer Games Done Quick. We have got our games list coming out. Alrighty, welcome back, heroes. We hope you've enjoyed the start to this Hidden Heroes episode. Once again, my name's Hib. I have the pleasure of being your host today, but I am merely stepping in for Heavy Chevy, Anarchy, who is away. So once again, so much love to her. But pleasure of stepping in for a Sonic episode. I'm still kind of geeking out over it. We are about to go on to I kind of called it a story time, but definitely not a bedtime story. We're not sleeping on this run. Kuro is about to throw us over to Sonic and the Secret Rings, but makes it sound like that's the end of the action tonight, because it is not. We are going to be having Express Lane right after this, where Joey Baby was doing an excellent advert for it earlier. We're going to be seeing quite a bit of Mega Man and Friends, is how Asuka is describing it, so do stick around for that. But we're going to be doing some Sonic and the Secret Rings first. Kuro, how are we doing today?
Doing good. Doing good. Excited to show off some secret rings. Yeah, this is quite the game if you're not. But yeah, let's get this thing started. We'll do them in eventually. But first, start a new save file. So, do a countdown from 3 and we'll go on go. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So, thank you. We start in Lost Prologue. So we start in a bit of a tutorial, which, if you're not familiar with this game, you're like, why would they do that? It's just Sonic. This is on a sideways Joy-Con. As you'll see, I'm not doing anything and Sonic is moving. This is an auto runner. I like to call this game Kaizo Subway Surfers, or Kaizo Temple Run, take your pick of the mobile game. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I control Sonic by motion controls. You move left and right to move Sonic. And again, there's no go button, there's no accelerate, he just does it. Which is a very big twist to how you typically approach games. If you don't touch the controller, you expect your character to not do anything. Not Secret Rings. Secret Rings is its own beast. So there's 8 missions we have to do in Lost Prologue before we can start the game in earnest. So we get Sonic is transported into the Arabian Nights, which is a storybook, and the Lost Prologue gets a bunch of these like random pages. It's really cool. It's really pretty. But yeah, so we're just learning how to play the game. So that was to teach us how to jump. You jump with the 2 button. That's also weird compared to Sonic. So Sonic does not do his spin jump in this game, which we saw in Sonic 3. Whenever Sonic jumps, he's a ball and he hurts enemies.
No, he's vulnerable currently. So yeah, you have to homing attack in order to actually hit enemies and not be completely vulnerable. This is the jump dash, so if we ever... Ooh, okay, Sonic. If there's not an enemy to lock onto, Sonic will perform the jump dash. You perform this by tilting the Wiimote forward. So it's not a button input, it's a motion input, which sometimes you try and do it and Sonic will not homing attack, so you just have to keep shaking and hoping it will eventually work out. That's most of this game. The best way to describe how this game is, it's like, if you know in like driver's ed, like you have, you know, the student driver and then the driver ed teacher on the side with their own like brake pedal and steering wheel just in case they have to help the student driver. So Sonic's the student driver, and we are trying to make sure he doesn't, you know, fly himself off a cliff or get in an accident. So this is the homing attack. So as you can see, when we're in the air, there'll be a reticle. Once it turns red, we can then do our shake, and then Sonic will do his homing attack. As you can see, he's not in ball form when he does it. He's very anti-ball in this game for whatever reason. So next we'll be introducing to braking. So if we ever don't want to move, we press the 1 button. Obviously that's slow, so we'll try and sparingly use it. We can also stop ourselves in midair, do a little stomp. Doesn't do damage. So we're supposed to learn how to brake, but we only press it like 2 times, so we'll just run under here and not get killed. Then we'll do a little hop, brake, brake, slide under, jump, and we're done with the mission.
Nice.
Just try to optimize braking as much as possible. Now, what if you don't want to move forward? I think this is the next mission, right? Yeah, okay, so what if you don't want to move forward? What if you want to move backwards for some reason? You have to tilt the Wiimote back towards you. These are all the fundamentals of secret rings in order to fully get the most out of this game. Oops. So yeah, this mission you're supposed to collect 25 rings as you move backwards. I'm pretty sure if you like move back and then collect the rings while moving forward, they don't count, which really confused me as a kid. One of the reasons I learned to speedrun this game was to kind of get redemption for kid me, because I barely got anywhere in this game. But then so I decided, what if I got good at this game, like try to actually beat it. And it turns out it's a really fun speed game. What's your experience with Secret Rings, Hib?
I don't have anything with the storybook games, and I bought a Wii U with the intention to go and do it.
Oh, yeah?
And jokes on me, the one thing on that Wii U that didn't work was the DVD laser, which could play Wii games. So it was a Wii U machine through and through. It couldn't do anything else, which
Interesting.
yeah. So sadly, the experience for me wasn't fulfilling. But how have you found the toll on your upper body strength that Sonic and the Secret Rings has given you over the years?
It certainly is an arm workout. We'll see at the end of the run. There's a lot of waggling that you have to do. This mission is just grinding. You automatically grind. If you want to switch rails, you gotta flick the Wiimote in a direction and hope that A, it registers, and B, it's in the right direction. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of motion controls. You definitely need composure, and the arm strength to do a bunch of waggling, especially when we get to the boss fights. There's a lot of shaking to be done. But hey, we're out of the prologue, and we get to do Sand Oasis, which is the first mission. So this game is broken up into missions. So we're always booted out to the level select at the end of each mission. But yeah, anyways, so the first mission in each world, or zone if you want to use Sonic terminology, is always go for the goal, which is really the main mission of the world. So it's usually the longest. But yeah, this is Sand Oasis. This is a really pretty game. I was enamored with this. It was like the only stage I could beat as a kid. So I replayed this level a lot. It's just really pretty.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of that time.
Yeah.
But, like, it's going for a little bit of realism, but not too much. Like, it's fun. There's some nice color in and amongst like the realism.
Yeah, there still is a blue hedgehog in front of our screen, front and center. Anyways, in honor of this being Hidden Heroes, I figure we get to see a hidden hero hidden within Sonic and the Secret Rings. So if you stop in very specific spots in only certain levels,
Where is he?
hey, Big.
Hey,
Yeah, Big the cat just shows up. If you know Big, he'll just show up in places, and that includes the storybook games. So there's 15 locations out of the 110 missions of Sonic and the Secret Rings. He appears only once in a mission if he appears at all. We'll get to see, like, some of the missions he's in isn't in any percent, and some are completely out of the way. So we'll only get some Bigs, but, you know, makes him that much more special.
Oh yeah, he's the hero we deserve.
Yeah, the hero we need.
Amen.
But yeah, anyways, Sand Oasis is a pretty straightforward, just supposed to get you learning how to have Sonic running. There's... The hitboxes in this game are pretty finicky, or you can get away with a lot. So there's gonna be fire where you're supposed to dodge, but if you just hold left, you should be fine. Even against that fire coming directly at you. Above that we just collected was a Fire Soul. This is like star coins in like New Super Mario Bros. They're kind of little collectible things. Aren't necessary. Sorry, that immobile spear got the best of me. Ran into it. But yeah, that will give us a boost in EXP. It'll give us 500 extra experience points. And if that doesn't make sense to you as to why we have EXP in a Sonic game, that will be explained very soon. This is the wall shuffling section. As you can see, I am just holding my Wiimote. This is as fast as Sonic will go. As you saw in the beginning, we were a bit faster. If you start to charge a jump, so yeah, I guess I didn't finish explaining jumping. You have to hold down the 2 button in order to do a charge jump. So then Sonic will just start sliding. That slide actually takes priority over this wall shimmying section. So if we're ever forced to wall shimmy, then we'll try to hold jump beforehand.
Oh my gosh, I could hear your controller complaining about that one. It was like, let me go!
Yeah, no, they love to use the Wiimote rumble. Alright, so here's the end of Sand Oasis. It's just have to make sure we don't accidentally jump into the water on the side, because Sonic still cannot swim. We'll do this big jump. Okay, that was supposed to be right, but he went left, but that wasn't in the water, so that's good.
I don't think I'll be able to look at this game the same, having you said that it's like a Kaizo Temple Run.
Yeah.
that is all I can think about now.
It really is, you know, it's just have the monkeys or policeman behind you. It's it's just time loss in the speedrun sense. Alright, so we're done with Sand Oasis 1, but we're not done with Sand Oasis. So we have to do as you can see, there's a mission list. And we have to do certain missions. Some missions you have to do in order to progress in the story, others you don't. You do not know that. It is not... The only way you know is after the fact and seeing what you unlock. And even then, it may not be obvious that you're even making progress. But anyways, this is... so missions have different requirements, so this is the Die Hard challenge. So it's just get to the end without dying. If you die in a normal stage, you just respawn at the whatever invisible checkpoint the game gives you. If you die, you have to reset the level. So we're gonna just jump through that fire, of course. As you do. Yeah, I remember we were trying to like figure out how to like most optimally do this stage, like by avoiding the fire, because like we don't have that great left to right movement. But then I accidentally jumped through it, and it turns out you can just do that. So great. All right, so we did mission 1, we did mission 2. What's the next mission? 5. Yes. Of course. So yeah, this is the special challenge. So sometimes there's going to be special missions that are unique to the mission itself. This is do not break any jars. So you'll see there's jars littered about. If I bumped into one, I'd have to restart the stage. And the one thing that is iconic of Secret Rings is that the level design is devious. Like, look at this little narrow pathway I have to go. And do you see the fire soul above that jar? You're supposed to jump over the jar and not hit the jar in order to get it. So like, even though it's right there and it would be really quick to get, and it would be good to get the fire soul, it's just way too risky to mistime it and just ram into the jar. But yeah, this game loves to be mean to you, which is really charming, actually. There's a lot of soul that went into this game, so I know it's like not the most well-received due to motion controls, and I do think this is like a really bad casual game in terms of like it's really hard to pick up and play. Also, blind turn jars, of course. I'm not making a good case. I'm about to say something nice, but... Anyways, jump over the enemies, and we're out of here. But yeah, this is a lot of soul went into this game. Like, a lot of love went into it, and you can really tell. It's a game you're supposed to, like, replay and get better at, which is why it's a really good speed game. Okay, so anyways, you did mission 1, 2, and 5. Next one, 9. Correct. Sorry, everyone knows this. Like, I don't know why I'm making a big deal of it. But yeah, so this one...
That's just how it happens. Come on, guys.
Yeah, come on. 1, 2, 5, 9. Anyways, this is another special challenge. This is break 5 jars. So it's the opposite. You're intended to... And now there's jars barely to be seen. The game really loves to do that. Really loves to flip the challenge on its head, and like... We'll see. There's defeat enemy missions, and then there's don't defeat any enemy missions, where you're forced to go pacifist, and they love throwing enemies at you.
I'm curious, because there was a second Storybook game, and they were thinking of potentially doing a third. Do you have any experience with Sonic and the Black Knight? As somebody from the area of the Black Knight myself, I'm curious.
Yeah, so I played Black Knight as a kid, but I do have it. I need to get a good nunchuck. That actually works in my Wiimote, because all the ones I had as a child. Oh, sorry, my dogs are barking at probably nothing, but...
That's right, they want to be on the stream. That's all right.
Yeah, they want to be on the stream, yeah. That was Sonny and Otis, so shout out them. But alright, we're done with Sand Oasis for now. Anyways, we got enough levels and skills that we get to equip some things. So this game is an RPG. You have experience points as you complete levels, you get EXP, and when you level up, you get new skills. So the important ones, we got Turbo Boost, it ups our acceleration. As you see, we'll get Mini Turbo. So before I was starting every mission by just jumping just to get started, but now I can shake the Wiimote forward when it says 1, and I'll get a little boost of speed at the beginning. Because otherwise Sonic just starts from a walk, and it's really slow. Anyways, there's a Triceratops. As you can see. Yeah, this is the, the gun truck moment of the game.
All the best Sonic games have them.
That is true.
This is fact.
And 3 Triceratops is this game's version of it.
I feel like the term Mini Turbo, do they have that in like Mario Kart Wii?
That is a Mario Kart thing. I believe that. I want to say Mini Turbo is your drift.
Yeah.
Like when you like drift and then release. I do not know enough about the minutia of Mario Kart.
I'm thinking it's funny that there's a little handshake between those two games to what they share.
Anyways, this is Dinosaur Jungle. The music in this game I really like. This one definitely is one of the silliest ones. Like, Sand Oasis had Let the Speed Mend It, which is a really nice song. This is The Wicked Wild, where they say, Dino, it's a jungle. Dino, the Wicked Wild. which is, you know, obviously the best song in the game and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Pales in comparison. But yeah, as you can see, Dinosaur Jungle is in fact a jungle with dinosaurs. There's... Ow. Okay, thought I could make it through.
At least you didn't
Sorry,
get hit
game.
off that.
Yeah, the game loves to humble me. When we're in these flying jars, you have to shake the Wiimote a lot in order to rise. If you see me start violently shaking whenever I'm in a pot, that is why. It's not just some aversion to the flying jars.
They're very scary. They are very scary. I wouldn't blame you for suddenly shaking.
Yeah, fortunately my nervousness helps in this. I was about to say this is an auto-scroller, but like the whole game is an auto-scroller. But anyways, we're on a log, and if we hit an iron ball, we will fall off. Even though it's an auto-scroller, you can sort of affect the cycles and where things are, so I moved very carefully in order to get that fire soul. Anyways, there's a T-Rex now. I believe she's in Crossworlds? I didn't play Sonic Crossworlds, but I'm pretty sure, like, this dinosaur appears. Anyway, she screams a lot.
Hibernation after... How old is this game now?
This was 2007.
Almost 20 years. Oh my goodness.
Ow. So yeah, we have to... Ow! We have to rely on the dinosaur to break the rocks for us. There we go. It's a little unfortunate we're getting hit, so as I explained the EXP system, so we get EXP, if we go through we get a multiplier at the end of each mission. If we go through damage lists, that's ×2. Every time we get hit, that multiplier goes down. So ideally you don't want to get hit. We do actually want... the EXP isn't like, if you don't have enough EXP at certain times, like, you just lose out on equipping a skill early. At worst, like, you can always just equip it later. But yeah, more EXP, the better. Basically. So yeah, every time we get hit, obviously it's slow, it's a speedrun, we don't want to get hit. But yeah, it's just an extra thing to try to perfect the stage and not get damaged. However, with the T-Rex, it's really hard to accomplish that. But yeah, this is another Die Hard challenge. Simply don't die, forehead. But as you can see, like, there's different starting positions for the missions, so they'll reuse, like, some locations, like here we're at the log grinding thing again. Also, I need to hold left in order to get this fire soul, so enjoy Sonic just bumping into cactuses and walls and that nose. But yeah, it's all to get this fire soul right here.
Nice.
So yeah, that's why the fire souls are important, because it gives us extra EXP. Also, here's just random spike balls falling out of the sky. This is a common Secret Rings occurrence, so get used to them.
You'd think for being such a spiky guy, he'd develop some kind of, immunity to cactus stuff, spike balls.
Yeah, one would hope. There's a lot of skills in this game. One of the skills we'll get is effectively immunity. When Sonic is charging a jump, he just cannot be damaged, which is really nice, and it lets us do some, like, damage boosting stuff, or, like, being able to literally just go through spike balls.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty late game Sonic. So anyways, we're gonna try to avoid unnecessary homing attacks. Like, obviously, feels good just keep shaking and homing attacking things, but it's not always the fastest. Here we have a bunch of cacti that I won't run into because I am a good player who practiced. Ow.
NBM.
Okay. Thank you, Sonic. I swear, look at my inputs. I did the jump. But yeah, another thing about having composure in this game is that, like, if, like, your, like, hands, like, shake too much, or, like, if you, like, accidentally move while you're, like, in the air, Sonic will do, like, a homing attack when you don't want him to. So there's a lot of takes a lot of composure in order to really master this game. But there's a really high skill ceiling, which I think is cool.
Nice.
So this is a rampage mission. This is our first rampage, so we need to beat a certain amount of enemies. So for this one, we need to beat... Sorry, I was moving slightly while talking, and if your Wiimote isn't completely still during the countdown, then it won't let you do the mini turbo. So that was simply my fault. Thank you, Secret Rings. Also, these catapults are really weird to get to work. But yeah, so in this mission, we have to beat 10 enemies. So it's going to be kind of hard to find enemies. We'll see, there's different strats in other Rampage missions, but in this one, we just go forward and take some side routes in order to find more enemies. You also have to make sure to hit these flowers. They take 3 hits. So all the enemies in these games are djinns or genies. So they come in different forms. There's the jungle exclusive flower genies that looks like, I forget the name, but it's whatever Vileplume is based off of. Like that kind of flower.
Okay.
But here's one of the weird side routes you have to take. So there's going to be these spike ball / springs. You have to wait for them to turn into springs, then bounce on them real fast before they turn into spike balls. Hit this button that moves the dinosaur's neck, and that spawns more enemies. So yeah, there's a lot of little things with this game. And here we go.
Nice. One thing that really fascinated me about this game is the tassing that's been done for it. I don't know what kind of, beyond that, what kind of resources have come around for the game over the years. Is there stuff that that has been found, that kind of stuff?
I didn't have a hand in any of the tassing, or like the task was made before I started running this game, but that was the Ring Rush's doing. Ring Rush is really big record holder just in like time trials with this game. Because there's like, any percent, but then there's also like just beating the game as fast as you can with all the skills you'd have. Anyways, hold on.
And you can break free.
There he is. You try to stay hidden, but you're too big a hero, Big. Alright, anyways, this is a stealth attack mission. We are forced to be pacifist. If we defeat an enemy, we have to restart the stage. As you can see, they just love throwing enemies at you now. Another time, the game's very mean. Doesn't mean we can't attack the enemy, so we can attack the flower to then jump dash over it in order to get to this log. To get to here, we hope we don't hit this guy. Okay, cool.
Nice.
And we're done. So yeah, some of these missions only take, like this should have only taken like 50 seconds because we stopped for Big. Yeah. So that's... we're done with Dinosaur Jungle for now. We'll return to do one more mission. Yeah, we'll explain more of the story, but we want to make sure we get to Evil Foundry as quick as possible to unlock our boost. But anyways, if you know anything about Evil Foundry, even if you know nothing about this game, you've probably heard the song, so I'll just let it play for a bit.
I think we've already had people referencing it in the chat. It is an all-timer. Let's let it ring.
Is this a castle?
Yeah, but it's no ordinary castle. Whoa, who's the big guy?
Said the thing.
Get those dance emotes in chat, folks. I want to see them. We're rocking out.
We're rocking the place.
I'm saying. They're saying.
Maybe you can hit the tanks with
I'd love to think of like, if Sonic had headphones in whilst going through this. This would get you amped. This would get you ready to go through a corridor with a bunch of spiky doors. This would get you running
and
through
hot
fire.
ovens.
Exactly.
So yeah, Evil Foundry is quite the level is definitely like the first kind of spike in difficulty of the game. Also, there's gonna be a fan spinning really fast. I'm just gonna hope I don't get hit. Okay, cool.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, there's a... So after this mission, we get the spirit gauge. So if you've ever seen those white orbs we get along the stage, or when we defeat enemies, those are soul pearls. We'll get a gauge, and eventually we can use it for a boost or a time slowdown effect, known as speed break and time break, respectively. Speed break is what we're really going to be using. We'll use time break once for reasons that aren't probably intended. Got the fire soul. But yeah, we'll be using speed break a lot. But yeah, those little white pearls. Alright, anyways, I have to remember... I don't know why I'm saying I have to remember while all I'm doing is holding left, but it's very hard to just, like, you know, kind of zone out and just kind of hold neutral, because then it kind of messes things up. This is a very fascinating game. Also, I like how the music's gonna, like, line up really cool with running up the wall.
Ooh, I have to listen. Oh, it does.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's how I know I'm on good pace. If that happens,
Nice.
I'm like, sometimes it happens like seconds before. I'm like, aw. So yeah, we got this is an evil foundry. They have big crushing machines. We're gonna hold off on hitting the next, we held off, we were slow there just to let the jars do their things, because they would hurt Sonic otherwise. Anyways, there's a lot of big gaps here, so you have to be really sure Sonic actually does the jump dashes as intended. So you might see me, like, do a bunch of shaking afterwards if Sonic is just in the air doing nothing. There's also a very tight section coming up. There's going to be falling things that we can homing attack onto, and if we're too late, they'll fall and we'll fall to our deaths. So, do that, slide. Nice. Alright. Also, you'll see these, like, big, like, circle things. The smaller they get, the more charged up they are, and they shoot Sonic further. There's gonna be spiky balls here. You know.
The usual.
The usual. Alright, so now we're at the end of the stage. So pretty good Evil Foundry. Now we just, Sonic will be running in a square, getting to the goal. And we're gonna have to say goodbye to Evil Foundry for now. There's nothing more we can do at the moment. So story-wise, there's like this fire golem, and right now we can't beat him. We need to get the Water World Ring. So the World Rings are the magic MacGuffin of this game. There's 7 of them, like the 7 Chaos Emeralds. They each have different effects, and each world has one. So you have to beat a boss or just a certain mission in order to get them. So we need to get to Pirate Storm. In order to get access to that, we have to go back to Sand Oasis 3. You know, obviously, after you do Evil Foundry, you go back to the first world and the 3rd mission. Obviously.
Because if people remember how we were counting, of course.
Yeah.
The rules are slightly different around here.
Exactly. Okay, so we equipped some new skills. We equipped the Quick Step and Quick Air that makes Sonic's left to right movement better. That means we can get to left to right quicker than we could before. As you see on the bottom right, we now have a gauge. Once we collect Soul Pearls, this will increase the gauge. Once it gets to orange, we're able to use it. If we press the controls, the D-pad down, that will do Time Break. That will slow down everything. Sonic is slightly faster than everything than he would be in normal speed. So you can do it for, like, really tight precision things. We're just gonna hope we're good enough to not need Time Break. That's basically... Because obviously slowing everything down is not good for a speed run. As you saw, that was Speed Break. It's like a boost, like, but not as good as like Boost was in like Unleashed, Colors, Rush. It's really committal and limiting, but it is a lot of speed, so that is very good. So now we move on to Levitated Ruins. So we need to get the world rings of Dinosaur Jungle and Sand Oasis. We're waiting until we get skills to make us faster. So we're completing the story as much as we can and then doing the optional stuff, as in things not necessary for world progression. Getting the world rings is a extra thing you have to do as opposed to just getting all the worlds unlocked. So the routing's a little weird, but this is Levitated Ruins. This is a really pretty world. It's a very cool... I forget what... I believe these creatures are called, like, roof or something.
Okay.
But yeah, like these big, like, manta ray sky things. Just a really interesting environment. Another cool quirk of Speed Break is we can run over spikes sometimes.
Oh.
Like, it doesn't always work, but it works when we need it to work, and that's really all we can ask for. There's strong winds. You'll see Sonic slow down because the wind is pushing us back. There's also pillars that fly in our way. They do have hitboxes, and they will damage you, and then you'll be carried by the wind. So it's very slow. Here's a gargoyle. Oh cool, he did the annoying thing. Yeah, they can just become invulnerable. That's one of their moves.
Oh.
So you have to wait for them to stop doing that in order to beat them. Another quirk they have is making these roads. So around the halfway point of this level, we'll be on a road like this, following a gargoyle, and we'll see where we want to go. We're trying to find Knuckles right now. He's known as Sinbad in this universe. Think like Sonic Prime rules. Just take a modern approach.
That. Yeah, you're right.
That's basically what the storybook games are. But anyways, we pass the tower he's on, and then we have to find our way back to the tower. However, we're going to do a skip that lets us end the map early, because we just passed the tower. We can actually get to that tower in a very weird way. So yeah, there's a very... Sonic is on railroads here, like auto running and everything. There's no good way to explain it. Let's just hope I get the trick, and you'll see.
Is this the one that you've done a video on recently?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Just leave it to me.
Alright, hold the Wiimote like that. Alright, now Sonic is floating. So now we have to... So this is the building we want to go to, so we would, like, run around and go far past it. If we just inch our way towards it... So Sonic's in a weird state where he wants to be grounded in this, like, scripted section. But by doing what I just did, he can be in midair, and then we'll float him past the wall of the building we want to get to. So this is the end of the stage now. This saves like 3 minutes.
Wow. Let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, as you'll see, we're not supposed to do this, so you'll see the camera get real funky. Definitely didn't want us doing that, but we did, and we beat the mission. Because typically that mission takes like 5 minutes, and we did it in 3. So that's like one of the most major time skips we could do in 90%.
Nice. Definitely worth making consistent.
Yeah. So next we have a rampage mission. I'm gonna let this speak for itself. There's really not much I can say about it. It will all become very apparent. This is a very iconic mission. Anyone who's played this game, and this is required for the main story.
Oh, I think I might... Maybe I don't. Let's have a look.
Okay, we did it. Yeah, it's beating one enemy, and the only enemy is really far away, so you have to go on that rope, swing, and then time your homing attack.
Awesome.
That's actually a really hard
only in
level
secret
to...
rings.
Yeah. That's actually a really hard level to do when you have all the Sonic skills, because he'll become so fast, he'll, like, go past the enemy that you're supposed to attack. I've seen Lysander, the world record holder, like, do it in his, like, New Game Plus runs, and, it's, like, actually a challenge.
3, 2,
Anyways, so this is the longest stage in any percent we have to do. We're saving Sinbad, so Knuckles is trapped in a cage, and we have to unlock his locks. So we have to go to 4 different towers to get the sun facing the locks in order to break them. It's very cinematic. So yeah, we just have 4 little challenge towers that we have to zip line to. What we're about to do, we're gonna come up, we're basically forced to get hit. There's a wall shuffling section, but we hold jump here. Yeah, okay. It's really fast to do that as opposed to wall shuffling, but we do run right into a missile, so, you know, them's the breaks.
Yeah.
Alright, but as you can see, we get the mirror. Hi, Knuckles. Then we teleport to him, and then we do it again.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how Sonic's doing that. He should really do it more often.
It's the Arabian Nights, you know.
Yeah.
We let some things slide.
So yeah, the zip line, you have to dodge things with motion controls, obviously. Just like everything else in this game. Alright, we want to hit this guy. There's a really tight window to do this place fast, and okay. We're not getting it. Sonic decided to fall off the path, so anyways, I guess now we can be more chill here. But yeah, there's a lot of rope swinging. Swinging, of course, relies on shaking the Wiimote. So there's this spiky ball that appears. Can I make it? Nice.
Nice.
Alright. Yeah, there he is. Hey, that's a good
That's
one.
impressive. That is impressive
Yeah.
stuff. Big is...
Let's go big.
People underestimate him.
He's a hero.
Amen.
He is Sonic Heroes in one of the games.
It's true. It's true. We've been talking about we talked about the other Storybook game. I'm curious. Have you ever been tempted by some of the other motion control outings of the Sonic / Sega series?
I guess I had personal stake with Secret Rings, so I guess I haven't really. I guess finishing my thoughts about Black Knight. Oh yeah, I guess I don't have Nunchuck right now, but I do want to learn it eventually, just so I can say I have all the Storybook games. Be on the leaderboards for that.
Because I know that there are different categories for this as well. Like it looks like Black Knight's a little bit quicker.
Compared to this game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very differently structured. Alright, we're on this section.
Gotcha.
Sorry, there's another mission that takes place in this exact tower, so I kind of confuse it for it sometimes. There's a lot of muscle memory that happens in this game. Anyways, in order to do the lever, you literally have to, like, pull it. Because everything requires motion controls. They really like the Wii. If you could tell. And the motion controls. So coming up, there's going to be a cool skip. So first of all, there's missiles to dodge. Fortunately, most of the time we can just hold left and we dodge the missiles. Then we have to hold neutral for a bit. Alright, now we're clear. So yeah, we're supposed to go on the catapult and unlock this door. You'll see it's gated. However, yeah, we could just like brute force our way through with speed brake.
Awesome.
I don't know why it works, but it does, and that's the important part. So yeah, we have to unlock springs in order to get up the tower. Yeah, it's very easy to try to go fast like here, especially with these spikes coming in and out. It takes a lot of discipline to not just keep, rushing directly into it. But yeah, speed brake can do some funky stuff, so there's a lot of speed brake management. Like, you have to keep in mind when you're using speed brake, how much gauge it will use. You can cut it off, but even just doing it once to get a speed boost takes a lot, especially for how low our speed gauge is right now. But yeah,
Knuckles, yay!
We got Knuckles.
Thank God.
Anyways, Knuckles tells us about, where to get the water world ring in order to beat Evil Foundry. But before we do that, we have another mission we have to do. This one's, it's not really a trick, it's more just the game being the game. Just doing weird stuff with its targeting and everything. But this is gonna take place in the third tower, if you recall that. So anyways, we jump here and we homing attack, and Sonic just turns around.
Oh.
He's like, I want that one. Okay. Anyways, then we just speed break through the enemies. So when we're speed breaking, we do defeat the enemies. So kind of like your boost that you'd see in like Unleashed, Colors, the like. And it mostly works. It works when I need it to, I guess. But yeah, we can also
Sonic ever truly, just work how it should.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, now we're moving on to Pirate Storm. So we still have 0 world rings, but we're looking for a specific level in Pirate Storm that we're required to do. We're graded for time in these missions. You'll see, like, at the end of missions, Sonic will say, "That was tight." That's me getting a gold medal. Generally, we get the gold medal because, we're speedrunning. Some of the gold medals are impossible without better skills to offer replayability. But anyways, if you gold medal certain stages, you get special skill rewards. And we're looking for one that that maxes out our acceleration. So we'll get to it in a few missions from now, but this is Pirate Storm. It is very wet. Just Sonic's favorite status to be in. There's a lot of water to die in as well, so we just have to make sure Sonic is doing the right things at the right time.
I was about to say, we know that he can't swim at the best of times, but I don't think anybody can swim in these waters. These are dangerous.
Storming. We're gonna want to hit... I don't trust that. Yeah, we have to hit the right barrel cycle, as one does. Oh, shoot, I pressed one on accident. Oops.
Whoops.
I fat-fingered the brake button in midair, which means I drop like a rock. So you gotta make sure you don't do that either. That's alright. So as you can see, when you die, you just respawn a bit back. So it's not the most punishing thing. I mean, obviously time loss is time loss, but at least we don't have to restart the stage. So when we die, we do lose out on our EXP multiplier, but it's fine. We'll manage somehow, some way. Anyway, it's time for another cinematic, another auto-scroller in the auto-scroller, I suppose. We hop on a bullet bill. And we can move really fast. I like doing that with him on this because he looks silly. Whoa. Gotta have your fun with secret rings,
Totally as intended.
Yeah. We're gonna do a bit of a skip here, so we're supposed to activate a bunch of switches to open the gates, but if we hop on this guy and then homing attack over,
nice.
We can get over the guy. We need to get the catapult exactly halfway, not too far forward or back. Also,
where is he?
There he is. Aw, it's just in there. Good old Big.
It would be very strange if you've gone from your, quiet life of chilling out with your frog, doing some fishing, and you're just in the middle of the Arabian Nights. Like,
yeah.
Does anybody ever think about, how he got there? How do we look after him?
Poor Big. Froggy just gets in the darndest of places. I have to make sure I cancel my speed break, or else I'll clip through the ship, which is not good because I just fall in the void, which is funny to see, but not good for a speed run. Anyways, now we're in this really pretty cave. This game's so pretty, especially for a Wii game. Like, obviously I didn't get to this part of the game as a kid, but I can appreciate it now.
Even the game's saying that it's pretty, and I'm
they know. Oh yeah, that girl voice, that's Shara. Sonic's wearing a
Shara.
Sonic's wearing a... Please, random spike balls, not now. So yeah, she is the genie who helped us out, or who wants our help. So she's a little companion. That's the ring on Sonic's right hand. I guess the good thing about dying early in this map is that damage doesn't matter anymore. I can't lose more EXP than I already have, so cool. Sometimes you can clip through this like little throne thing. I did not, but that's okay. Anyways, now we have another surfing section. So for some reason, like, so if you just go over it, Sonic will like do a trick. If you're shaking, sometimes he'll go into ball form. Like, I don't know why.
So he does go into ball form, just not for a benefit.
Sometimes he does it after a homing attack. Sometimes he'll really be feeling it.
Okay.
Just a bit.
Naughty Hedgehog.
You know, the spin jumps didn't exist in the Arabian Nights, so we have to adjust.
Back in my day.
All right, so we hop over the gate, speed break through. By the way, these fireballs they do have hitboxes.
Ooh.
And they will in fact damage you if you run into them, so want to try and hold as much center as you can there. But very nice. I got through Pirate Storm.
Nice.
Alright, so we did Pirate Storm 1. What's next, everyone? That's right, it's 9.
Oh.
Alright, I'm glad everyone's learning. Everyone's learning how to count with this game. So this is a Die Hard challenge. So don't die. It is obviously if I like stomp in midair again over water, I will die. So I'm gonna try not to do that this time. This is a very we're just going in one big loop. It's a really funny premise for a stage. I'm gonna avoid that spike ball just because I didn't like the vibes of that one. I like the vibes of that one because it was required, but we're gonna try not to get hit by spike ball. Hey! I'm honestly surprised I didn't get hit. I always get hit there. I kind of said that ironically. Hop on to get here. Those silver rings just count as 20 rings. Can try not to get hit. We instantly launch from the catapult in order to get that fire soul. These spike balls will destroy the jar immediately and I'll fall in the water, so just have to be careful about that. Now a grind section. Hopefully beat that spike ball from hitting us. And alright! Not bad. Pirate Storm 9.
Nice.
Always, sub-minute is always good. It's really easy to get hit. There's a lot of things that can hit you. So very nice. Alright, now we go to Pirate Storm 10.
Okay, well, makes sense.
Yeah, so it's basically the same level structure we just saw, except now we can't defeat the enemies. This is a stealth attack. Well, no, we can defeat the enemies. We'll just instantly lose and have to restart the mission.
Yeah, let's not do that.
I swear, in these missions, Sonic just has, like, the most bloodlust I've ever seen of him. Like, he just will target onto enemies. Like, it's insane.
This is a magnet.
Yeah. Like, there's a really mean section at the end of this section, at the end of this level. It's incredible. Like, I truly mean, like, this game was designed with, like, Kaizo in mind. In the sense of, like, you're supposed to fail and then, like, get better. So do that little grind hop. Not get hit by these. Nice. Somehow I didn't get hit. I swear they do, in fact, have hitboxes. But I'm okay not proving that to everyone tonight. Alright, try and get this fire soul. That's okay. I missed it. That's okay. Really just need to not talk. Also, look, this guy. Like, you think you're free to go to that box, but then he just appears. Also, depth perception check. That's a really hard jump to do.
Oh, you can't homing attack? Wow, that's...
Yeah, no, because if you homing attack, you kill him. It's so mean.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Gosh. Really does keep you on your toes.
Yeah. Alright, so this... we're going to Pirate Storm 5. This is a rampage mission. So after this mission, I believe we're taking a little break. So in about like 2 minutes from now, after we're done with this level. Because it's a good natural stopping point in the run, because this is the level we want to gold medal. This gives us sub W boost, which is basically like a curse skill. So there's a skill called warp boost, which maximizes Sonic's acceleration. It's a like late game, like Sonic has to be level like 40 something till he learns it. This skill you can get just from gold medaling this stage, which is pretty easy to do. It's just a rampage mission. So you're supposed to like do the mission, like, you know, go through the level normally. However, it's just one big loop. So even if you went through the level normally, there's not enough enemies. You have to eventually come back here. So we just go backwards ourselves to these bunch of 3 enemies. There's 2 other rampage missions exactly like this, where we'll just grind the same enemies.
You think they'd learn after like the first couple of times, you know,
Yeah.
they've been done with?
They'll get us this time.
Surely.
Yeah, also those fire have hitboxes, so I'm trying very hard not to accidentally go too far left or right. But anyways, sub W boost is a like cursed version of warp boost, where it's the same effect where it maximizes our acceleration. The only difference is that instead of taking 20 rings of damage every time we get hit, we take 40, which isn't horrible, because we just try not to get hit anyway. But yeah, so now the run will get a lot faster. But yeah, this is a good stopping point.
Gotcha. Alrighty, folks, we're going to be pausing the timer there, and we're going to have a little wellness break. So make sure if you haven't, to, you know, make sure you're taking care of yourself. If you have the capacity, have a... Alrighty, welcome back, heroes. You know what we've got lined up for the rest of this Hidden Heroes episode. Once again, a little reminder, I'm usually not the person who's yapping about this. Big love to Anarchy, who is our usual host for Hidden Heroes. Reminding you one last time that, of course, this is the show where we showcase speedrunners who are part of marginalized communities and the games that they're passionate about and that they want to show off. We've already seen a wonderful half of Sonic and the Secret Rings, and we're going to kick off where we left off. Kuro, take us through the rest.
Yeah, alright, we stopped right before our first boss fight. So I'll do a 3, 2, 1, go countdown to get started up again. So 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is our first boss battle, Captain Beamoth. He's very loud, but anyway, need to do some skill equipping. Alright, nice, we have just enough SP skill points to equip what we need to equip. Alright, so we won't really get to see the fruits of the new skill we got. We're mostly going to be in the air and waggling. Anyways, you can't skip through the initial cutscene for seeing. Anyways, it's just so loud. Just classic early audio mixing. Anyways, we kind of just... You're supposed to get on his horns. We're fast enough where we can just get on the horns before he does anything. And you're supposed to, like, you know, run him down and everything, but he just stays a certain amount of distance away from you, so you can just, you know, not. So every time you rip off a horn, he'll do that, like, wave attack. And we can actually just re-homing attack right on him. He has 4 horns we have to take off. So we're kind of just bullying him if you really think about it, but yeah, so as you can see, this is my wiggle technique. If you've ever seen the rubber pencil magic trick where it's like, ooh, the Wiimote's rubber.
Oh, that looks familiar.
Yeah, for whatever reason, that's like the best, like, mashing, to use a more common phrase, of how to do this mission. It's really hard to, like, do this all at once. Like, you're supposed to, like, jump off before that big electrical charge will shock you off of it. But if you have the right wiggle strat, then you can just beat him up. So yeah, that's him. He's done. So yeah, we're done with Pirate Storm, and he has the World Ring. So we got the Water World Ring. So we're gonna go to Evil Foundry eventually. That's what we came here for. But now, because we have a sub W boost, because our acceleration is at max, like Sonic will go from 0 to 60 like very quickly. We're gonna do some cleanup. We're gonna get the rest of the world rings from Levitated Ruins, Dinosaur Jungle, and Sand Oasis. So we'll go in reverse order. So stopping in Levitated Ruins. Going to specifically, so that boss battle with the world ring was the final mission in the list. This is mission 9 of Levitated Ruins of like 14. You're not supposed to know, like, there's no way to know this is the world ring mission. Like, only after the fact when you get it, it's when you're like, oh, okay.
I've got to say it. We've only seen one of them, but the world rings look so scrumptious. Like I could not be trusted with them.
Yeah, someone should make it like a food thing.
So, they would sell out.
So this is the Rampage mission, so it's the similar principles to the one we ended on. So there's 2 enemies that appear up here. So we're gonna hit them, so 1, 2, then we'll drop. Then we'll speed break, we'll hit the spring again, we'll stay back until they respawn. Sonic will not do the homing attack when he's supposed to, so we'll do it again. We're supposed to hit both of them. Sonic, lock in, bro. Alright. And then we just do that until we reach 20. We're at 11 of 20 right now.
Classic.
There we go.
Nice.
It's very you have to be very careful not to homing attack too early. Otherwise you'll jump dash over the enemy and then you'll continue on with the mission, which I don't even know what happens if you go too far. Like, I'm sure like you can recover, but I just reset the mission. Because I think it's like 20 seconds of running before you even see an enemy again. But yeah, just rinse and repeat. Hope Sonic will do the homing attacks when you want him to. And boom.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, so that's so yeah, that was a Rampage mission and that had the world ring for some reason. In Dinosaur Jungle, we have to break 5 genie eggs. I don't know why we're doing that. They don't say it. They don't say it in the game. We just do. Anyways, this is, funnily enough, also Mission 9 of Dinosaur Jungle. That's not the case for all the other worlds. It just happens to be Mission 9 has the world ring. But, yeah, so... the goal that we could have done this earlier, same with the other one, it's just it's slightly faster with max acceleration. So as you can see, Sonic's instantly running at top speed.
Ooh.
Okay, I don't want to lose out on experience, so we're just restarting. That was way too early to just die immediately. So otherwise we'd lose our ×2 multiplier, and I kind of want my EXP. So we're gonna beat that genie. So yeah, here's the genie egg. So yeah, the reason we could have done this initially at Dinosaur Jungle, but it's faster here because we have our boost, and that will instantly break the egg as opposed to homing attacking it 3 times. So it's a bit faster.
That's a very tough eggs to crack. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever they are.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are, but we need to beat them for the world ring, I guess. There's also another mission where you have to collect the eggs and put them in the right nests. Fortunately, that's not 90%. It's a very weird... It's also like one of the only instances of RNG in the game. It's randomized where the eggs are and where the nests are. Sonic, you missed the enemy. Excuse me. It's so awkward having to go backwards. Like, Sonic, turn around, bro.
He's behind you.
Great job, Sonic.
Yeah, so pretty simple level. Also, say goodbye to the Wicked Wild. To get funky.
It's been beautiful. It has been beautiful. Some folks, some eagle-eyed folks, might have noticed not only other speed games of yours in the background, but you've got a handy guide.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's not good. Okay. Sure, Sonic. Where are we gonna go? Where's the last... Oh, okay. Interesting. Did not know he does that. Okay. That's not too far away. Yeah, so that's Sonic auto running. But yeah, I do have got flushed away up there. I have quite the repertoire of games that I speedrun.
Nice.
Alright, this time, but for sure. Nice.
Just like that. First try.
Just like that. Okay. Well, interesting. Hey, we all learned what happens if you miss the egg. You just take a short little circle back to it.
Is it
Hey, that's the green world ring.
Is it fair to say that that's never happened before for you?
I guess it hasn't. Yeah, it's never happened before. And I know I said orb earlier, so there you go.
We're hitting all of the GDQ bingo players are going wild for this one.
Yeah, the GDQ-isms. I'm helping everyone with the bingo board. All right, this one is a pretty standard mission. It's collect 99 rings. So there's rings scattered about. We gotta collect them. And then after this, we should reach level 18, and we should have another skill upgrade session, and that's when we'll really reach peak Sonic, at least in terms of any percent. There's a few more skills we'll need later down the line, but we're gonna be the same beast but a different animal, or whatever the saying is.
Close enough.
Yeah, so anyways, just be careful. You have to have these rings all at the same time, so if you get hit, you lose the rings in the counter. And remember, we have the skill that deals double damage to us, so anytime you get hit, we'll now lose 40 rings instead of 20. If we have one ring, we'll still be reduced to 0, so it's not like it makes us any more prone to death, necessarily.
Okay.
But alright, so that was mission 10, so we go back to mission 6, as one does. Okay, cool, we're level 18. I need to equip things. Buy quick air. I need to get rid of mini turbo. Speed up, cancel dash, fire gaze. Yes. Okay. Was this stage? Right, die hard. Have to just let the muscle memory take over. Then I'm like, what am I doing? But then once I see it, I'm like, okay.
Just let the speed mend it.
Yeah, so we have new skills. So we have speed up, which makes us go faster. We have a better top speed. You'll notice now, whenever I'm in the air, I'll do a stomp. I'll have a fire effect around me. So now whenever we forcibly land using the jump or brake button, we now have a fire aura around us that will deal damage. It actually deals more damage than a homing attack, so it's pretty nice. I don't remember stage this is. I'm just gonna hope it's this one. Oh, right, okay. I remember what stage we're on now. But anyway, so yeah, we have Fire Gaze. It's called Fire Gaze. It's gonna be really useful as a boss killer. At least for one specific boss. It deals more damage than the homing attack would. It lets us skip a whole cycle. Here's Speed Break letting us go through spikes. And then we also have Cancel Dash. So also, when we do the stomp, we will now automatically have acceleration, just like a mini turbo. So we actually took away mini turbo because it's just, this is effectively just mini turbo, except we can use it anywhere.
Nice.
So this is a beat the clock mission. It's just a standard get to the goal, except now there's just a counter on the top right.
Also, we're speedrunning, is what we're saying.
We're yeah, exactly. So
no way.
Not much has really changed from our game plan. But yeah, but in beat the clock stages, it loves to waste your time. So there's gonna be springs, and they just put you in air jail. Like, you know how you put a dog in air jail? Like, that's what they do. Like, they just waste your time. Like, you're just thrown in the air. Sonic just has to sit there and wait until he lands again.
Fantastic illustration. Yeah, he has to deal with the consequences of his actions.
Yeah. So yeah, we are way faster than we were at base game. So you see, whenever I land, I now start running a bit. So that's a tremendous difference in speed. I just hop off this rail. I didn't, for some reason, like, I always like automatically homing attack once I get off the rail. It's really unfortunate. But yeah, now we can move a lot quicker. We're gonna hopefully face through a wall. Great. Fortunately, a lot of like the angles we need is just like completely vertical. which is really nice for consistency's sake, because you can literally just put the Wiimote on a table and, like, get the trick.
Table strats.
Yeah, tables. I know Kirby Masta really loves the table strats. Alright, we finally get to battle another boss. This is going to be our only instance of time break in any percent. For some reason, if we attack him with time break, it will count as 2 hits as opposed to 1. I don't really get it. I don't know if we're so slow that we're effectively hitting the hitbox twice, or it's a mechanic and it does double damage. I don't know. But yeah, he has big eyes.
We were talking about how pretty this game is. It also has some truly ugly features.
Yeah, some of the enemy design is a spectacle. Alright, so, okay, we're getting the slow cycle. It's random whether he'll instantly do this big slam, like right now. Alright, 1, 2, time break. So yeah, everything's slowed down a bit. Otherwise, we'd have to do that same exact thing we just did. Sonic. Okay, now we have to get this eye and make sure Sonic actually homing attacks it and it doesn't run away from us. And then the boss is dead. Yeah, it's
the
a
design
very...
just kept getting worse.
Yeah. Oh, you thought it was bad, but then he turned around.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, quick and easy fight. Bosses give a lot of experience, so it's very important you don't take damage because, I mean, you get a good amount of experience regardless, but not taking damage really helps the multiplier. Okay, we are doing... Alright, we're back to rocking the place. So we're effectively doing the first mission of Evil Foundry again, but now Sonic knows the most optimal route to do it, so it takes like 40 seconds. Actually, hold on, it'll take 50 seconds because we're gonna have to stop for something.
Ooh.
What could it be?
What could he possibly be up to this time?
There he is.
The fact that it's almost synced up with the music as well is hilarious. Who's gonna rock the place? It's Big the Cat.
It's Big the Cat.
Exactly.
With the steel chair. Alright, run through spikes as per usual.
Splendid.
Okay.
Smooth.
Not like that. Yeah, you can mix. Ow! Damn it, I forgot about those spikes. Avoid one thing to get hit by another. But yeah, so those like really fast spinning blades, you're supposed to use time break in order to time your way through it. But we just try to get past it. Oh, hey, 50 seconds on the dot. Alright, so now we got another boss fight coming up. Hopefully this goes okay. So this is supposed to be a 3-cycle fight. If you remember the rock golem from Sonic Adventure 2, you'll get very similar vibes. This is the Ifrit golem. Also, when Eraser Jin, like the bad guy, he like does a chant to summon this monster, and he says Iblis. People are like, oh, 6 reference. Even though I think it's just referencing the actual Iblis that the Iblis was referencing in 06, but 06 reference. Yeah, so we have to hit his hands, and then hit the back of his head. So... Ooh, ow. Let's redo that. Fortunately, we can skip the initial cutscene now, so that's cool. Alright, there we go. So we, yeah. So we use our stomp attack to get all 3 knuckles at once. Then we do 1, 2, stomp. So that does more damage than our typical 3 homing attacks. Alright, now again, we'll speed break through. And then there's supposed to be a 3rd phase, but because we stomped, we get to skip it. And the third phase is really slow. So, yeah, he gets taken down pretty easily. All the bosses get taken down in like 30 seconds. It's really cool.
Nice.
But we're not done with Evil Foundry just yet. We are not done rocking the place. Now there's like a bomb inside before it explodes everything. So It's a beat the clock mission, except now instead of an arbitrary timer, it's trying not to get blown up. So now instead of like quickly getting inside Evil Foundry, we now have to leave really quickly. I really like how Evil Foundry is set up in the game. So now we're like very quickly retreading where we just were. So if you remember the end of the first time at Evil Foundry, we did a bunch of like turns in order to get to the center, and now we're exiting the same way. And we're just letting the music run. It'll look like we're going on nothing. There's hidden rails in this game that are like a bit sparkly, so you can kind of tell where they are. But yeah, it gets you generally on faster routes, and typically also has a fire soul.
I feel like I don't know how many other Sonic games you can kind of give the unofficial theme to, but I feel like this is, because this isn't the main theme of the game, but I feel like it's kind of become the fan theme of the game.
I mean, Seven Rings in Hand is iconic for entirely different reasons, but...
True.
Yeah, was it The Palace That Was Found, I think is the official name of this song. It's on Spotify, like the Song and Secret Ring soundtrack. I listened to it. It's pretty big bops. Ow. Yeah, if you don't time that right, if you're in Speed Break, Sonic won't like come to a halt and then like plant his feet and then like burst in the other direction. If he does that right then, he'll just slam right into the oven and there's nothing you can do about it. Which is very sad, but we got through it.
Nice.
Anyway, so we're done with Evil Foundry now. We got the World Ring. After the bomb exploded, it had the red World Ring. There we have it.
Ooh,
and
what kind
now,
of flavor? What kind of flavor do we think that ring would be? Strawberry? Maybe?
Could be. I'm down for a strawberry. Alright, so now we're on to the second to last world of the game. This is Skeleton Dome. It's probably one of my favorite levels to go through, just because we have so many Sonic skills. And any percent is probably one of my favorite levels to do. It's really tight. I say that, and most of the beginning section is just holding left, but I swear it's cool.
Hear me out.
Yeah, hear me out. Oh wait, I was supposed to hit that chest, wasn't I? Whatever. I'll probably be fine. So yeah, this is just the hold left section.
Also,
right,
somebody's saying raspberry for the flavor that we had earlier.
Ooh.
I think go for raspberry as well.
Also, I did not time that right, so don't get blind. Here we go. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Alright, cool.
It's dicey. Oh my gosh.
It's fine. But yeah, we have our big stomp attack, so it kills those guys in one, which is really nice.
Nice.
Yeah, as you can see, there's gonna be like 3 enemies here, and they all just go away with that big stomp. Alright, cool, we're back on track now. We made it to the top route. There's 2 routes to get inside the Skeleton Dome. Top route is more optimal. You have to make sure you get your jumps and get those rail grinds. But provided you get that to happen, nice things happen. Alright, we've taken a lot of damage, so I don't know if we'll get to the specific level that we need to be at for when we're intended to do our skill equips, but it's fine. These are skeletons. They are mean. They dual wield swords and they spin, and they are the most dangerous enemy in the game. Like, their range is huge. Like, if you try and boost through them, they'll hit you. They're just very mean. Oop, ow.
I mean, I'm not going to say never, but I feel like the ratio of good skeletons to bad skeletons in video games is fairly weighed on the negative side. So yeah, these guys look like menaces.
Okay, so we're going to come on the wall slide section. So we're going to hold a jump in order to move really far.
Nice.
Now we'll move left to right. Just try not to get bonked in the head. Nice. Alright. We'll hop over this one so he doesn't hit me. Alright, we have to go left, right? Left, right, okay. Nice. I always remember just in time. I always never remember which direction those axes are gonna come at, but...
Are they consistent, or are they like...
Oh, they are consistent. I should know this. There's really no excuse. So now we have to go through these particular rooms. I actually don't know what happens if you go through the wrong one. You go through the skull head with the red gems in the eyes. I do not know what happens if you take the wrong one.
Thanks for the help,
But
mister.
fortunately, I won't have to find out. Anyways, we get to the treasure room.
It's full of treasure.
And now we're at the final straightaway of the mission. So, let's see if I remember how to do this. I think we boom, boom, we hold, then we hold right. Okay, this just times up the axe as well, so then we can just do a speed break to the end.
Find the king.
Nice.
Nice.
Alright, little hiccups every now and then in Skeleton Dome, but otherwise, not too bad. Alright, so now we're gonna do another rampage. This rampage is a little bit different. We've had to beat 10 enemies before, we've had to defeat 21, this is 40 enemies we gotta beat now. In order to get all 40 enemies, we have to awaken the skeletons. So we'll have to loop around the same area twice with that skeleton spawned in. Also, Sonic has one of my most favorite lines in the... Don't buck into that. My favorite lines in the game in this stage. But yeah, it's a very slick level. It's just very quick with all your skills and a lot of homing attacks.
Wow, this place is huge.
Try and hit that chest. Nice. Try not to get hit by that axe. Alright, cool. We have to hit these like numbered switches. For some reason they awaken the skeletons. Sonic does a slow walk for some reason. I don't know why he's forced into that when he goes up there. Alright, so now the skeletons are here. So if you're quick enough, they'll just stand there, but there is some times where we'll have to deal with the skeleton movement. Okay, that's fine. I was hoping one of those skeletons would approach, but then neither of them did, so we'll just
This is why they call it.
backflip, hit that. Also, there's Sonic's. So this is why they call it the Skeleton Dome.
I was about to say, I was
my favorite
anticipating
line.
what the line would be.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it is the Skeleton Dome, huh?
He is the
Alright,
master
now
of
we'll
observation.
teabag. Alright, cool.
Nice.
Nice, gotta fit the teabag in there. Okay, do we hit level 26? We do! That is really impressive. Okay, we barely hit level 26, but we got enough EXP. Alright, so that's what all the EXP rooting was for, just to get to level 26. As we'll soon see why. So this is our final Sonic build. I am honestly amazed we did it. I bumped my shoulder on a lot of things, but okay, so let's see. We go quick high step, quick air, turbo jump. Kirby Masta started started running secret rings, and he's really good at menuing, which is something the menuing has kind of been lax in previous in most runners, but there's a lot of time to be saved in the menus that I need to really crack down and learn it. Anyways, the story for a Skeleton Dome, the king of the Skeleton Dome is, he got just turned in, well, he's a skeleton, and we have to find the rest of his body, which is what this mission is for. His body is apparently 5 femurs, and that makes up a body.
Oh.
So, it works, so, you know, can't say Doesn't work. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stomp, backpedal, jump, hit. Okay. It's a very tight section in order to kill those enemies.
Yeah,
All right, there's gonna be a hand that you have.
choice.
There's gonna be a hand that you have to chase down. You can just homing attack from the start and get it immediately. You don't have to deal with chasing it down. All right. Ow! Dang it. I was trying to speed break before they started spinning, but alas, they spun. Alright. Gotta make sure I don't get hit by axes. Cool. This is a very sketchy section. We're gonna be in the flying jar over a big void. Come on. Alright, it's actually really generous where you can jump out of. Like, I'm pretty sure I can jump out of, like, here and be fine. Yeah, it's really scary, but it always works out.
It just snaps you back on. That's
Yeah.
Nice of it.
So it might be a Kaizo temple run, but, you know, it can be nice at times. Alright, so we deliver the bones to him. And you'd think that'd be a good story point to give you the world ring. Nope, we have to do a rampage. Defeat 15 enemies. This is a very weird rampage. The enemies are really hidden, or like they only appear at certain intervals, so it's actually really hard to like get that. You'll see. So anyways, some of our new skills. So we got quick high step, which is lets us move left to right faster. But we got two things. Skimmer, which means when we do charge jumps, we move quicker. Oops. So that's one of the skills. And then the other one is Aegis Slider. So whenever we are charging a jump, we are invulnerable. That's the invulnerability thing. So as you saw, I just went through those spike balls completely unscathed. It leads to some really cool skips we can do in Night Palace, which is the final world of this game. Anyways, we're gonna stomp here, speed break there. Alright, these guys will disappear just by the time you get to them, so we're gonna actually wait for them. We're gonna wait for Axe to get to a certain point, speed break. Then we'll kill these two and wait. Okay.
Nice.
Nice. That one you kind of just have to believe that you got all the enemies. Yeah, only certain skeletons will actually die, others will come back like dry bones. There's no way to tell which ones are which until one comes back to life or not.
And it's just completely random.
Well, it's consistent which ones they are, but yeah,
okay.
Otherwise there's like no way to tell. So like only those back three skeletons were able to actually be killed. The other ones in front of them were not, obviously. Anyways, we're on to our final world. This is Night Palace. This is probably one of the prettiest worlds. It's really cool. It's very flashy. But yes, this is like our journey's end. We finally made it here. Gonna try to... Okay. If you're able to like frame perfectly input a jump in order to slide, but because we have Aegis Slider, we can just slide through these spikes completely unscathed. That's like... Yeah, that's like the sickest application of Aegis Slider. It's so cool, because then we don't have to wait for the cycles, we can just go. It's really cool. Also, the song is Unawakened Float. It's a banger. It's also very thematic. All the like songs actually have like relate to the story and like Sonic's adventure. So it's a very more somber because Sonic's actually running out of time. He has the Flame of Judgment on him, so he's on a clock for how much life force he has left before the Flame of Judgment eats away at him.
We go for a walk on the air.
Anyways, now we're on a magic carpet. You just need to make sure not to get hit by the spike balls by going in certain places. Oh! Okay, that's where the spike ball is. Oh, wait, I remember now. In my head, I was like, go left, because I remember the spike ball was at the left. Got my wires crossed there.
How is this
Anyways,
like, control? It looks janky.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, so you gotta like, you gotta control it like a plane, basically. Also, you can do this. So that's fun. Gotta,
Lessons?
yeah. Good news about
Sonic,
about having all my skills. I don't care about dying or taking damage anymore. Obviously it's slow, so I don't want it to happen. But the EXP doesn't matter. Also, there's the ending, and it stretches away. So now we gotta get to the end now with a bit more. It's a bit more than just the hallway. So we go into this other dimension. It's really cool with all the glass and everything. It's really pretty.
I love these sequences.
Also, there's gonna be spears that will break the ground. Hopefully you know where they're gonna be. Like, that's a real Kaizo thing. I'm just kind of like, better not be standing where it's gonna come. So we have to, in order to repair the gates, we have to reverse time. So we go to these hourglasses, go through this kind of like time warp section, and hit the hourglass to reconstruct the gates so we can get past it.
Just what is this place?
Just what is this place? But yeah, this is a pretty dangerous world overall. There's a lot of pits to fall under. Some pits just show up before they become pits. But yeah, it's a pretty simple level. Like, there's a lot of visual stuff that's going on, but like this section, there's poison gas, so we're actually losing one ring at a time. But yeah, that section we literally just went straight, and I don't even have to input Sonic going forward, so pretty simple. There's a lot of just hidden rails that will help us move through the level faster. But yeah, otherwise, you really just get to practice having a really good Sonic. This section, you just go to the right, avoid all the pillars that have fallen and are now coming back. Just completely ignore the game.
The development team foiled again.
Yeah. And now we made it to the end.
Nice.
And because we made it to the end, we now have to do other missions where we're before that. Because, you know, secret rings. Anyways, we did mission 1, we finally get to do a mission 2 again, immediately after.
No way.
Yeah.
The counting returns.
I guess I never explained this. So these are head-to-head missions. We're racing this ball of light named Uhu. More like Boohoo, the way we leave him in the dust.
Wait.
Hey. So yeah, it's really just get to the goal. Like, you'll see on the top right, there's a distance meter as to like how far we are. You'll see when we have Aegis Slider. Hopefully I can do this. Damn. Okay, we have to wait for this enemy. Otherwise, we could instantly start sliding and go past the enemy. But yeah, same thing where we just Aegis Slider our way through things. Spikes are just a suggestion.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then there's ways to like increase like your speed or have like better speed. Hold on, wait, this is tough to get. Go with the spikes. Homie attack.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, that's those like fast spike ball things. You're supposed to use time break, but you can just do it right. I was just a bit too far forward. I missed it. But alright, now we're going to... So we did mission 2, so of course we're going to mission 9 now. This has a really cool skip. So there's gonna be a section... This whole... the concept of this mission is actually really cool. You'll see, but the whole, like, room... We keep going through the same room, but it keeps flipping around, so we have to approach it different ways. Oh, wait, hold on. Final big.
And he's breaking it down!
Yeah, let's freaking go, Big. Okay. Never mind, there's two cool things about this stage. First of all, Big. Also, yeah, in order to get him, you literally have to go backwards immediately. So anyway, the second cool thing is that there's a skip that we'll eventually have to do. Like, we basically run on the wall. It's very precise, and unfortunately it's not an angle where I could just leave the Wiimote vertical, so I actually have to like try.
Oh,
Can't just use the table.
how dare they?
It would work if I had like a not good table that was leaning slightly. But yeah, so now this is like the room that we went through, but now it's flipped on its side. So we kind of just get high in the air and avoid everything.
Convenient that they've got springs on the walls here.
Yeah, you know, it's really nice architectural design.
Yeah. I think more buildings should be like that, actually.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just think about the accessibility.
Yeah. If you have any blue
Alright,
hedgehogs around.
Gotta avoid those giant spears coming your way.
Nice.
It's not fun getting hit by those. Gotta avoid those treasure chests. There's also, I don't know if it's artistic or not, but you'll see, like, once we go in this section, like, it will, like, fade in. I don't know if it was just, it had to, like, load, or that was artistic. I could be convinced either way. Also, these big spears, we could just Aegis-Slider under them, even though they're attacking us at high speeds. We're invulnerable when sliding, so it'll just, like, rub against us. Okay, so now the room will turn on its... on the roof, so we'll be running on the roof. So we have to open up the way out by defeating the enemies over there. Then we're supposed to go backwards and launch ourselves from up above in order to actually get through. So we gotta beat these enemies first. Alright, so now the way is open. We're supposed to go back, but if I do this right... I'm gonna go like... Okay. Nice! Okay, there's the wall run. You have to hit a very... It's like almost an imperceptible amount of tilt on the Wiimote, otherwise that will not work. But yeah, it saves like a minute of having to like backtrack and like do it. It's a really long section if you aren't able to skip it like that. Yeah, it's one of the harder tricks to do, but saves a lot of time. And of course, this is at the very end of the run, so... Love to have the entire run hinged on that. We're going for like world record attempts. But now it's way more consistent. We used to do it from like afar, but then we realized we could just walk towards the wall.
Oh,
and
nice.
now we can kind of line it up with, there's like a starfish looking thing. I basically aim for the armpit. It works.
Nice.
Okay, so this is a new mission type. This is hands off. We have to finish the level with 0 rings. So basically, it's a normal level, but we get hit at the very end.
Okay, because I was going to say, we've already failed.
If we make it to the end with anything but 0 rings, we will just automatically fail and have to redo it. So we're gonna Aegis-Slider under the enemies. As you saw, I just ran right through them because I started charging a jump. Aegis-Slider applications are really good. And also, you don't have to commit to a jump. By using brake, by using your brake, you're able to cancel the jump itself. That was like 2 spears stacked on me. Anyways, remember that curse skill we have where we lose more rings? That's actually really helpful because we would typically lose 30, or we'd typically lose 20 rings, but because we had the curse skill, we lose 40, so it's really helpful for that mission in particular. There's also another mission type that thankfully we don't have to do, which is no pearls, where we can't increase our soul gauge at all. And it is really hard to avoid pearls. Once you collect a pearl, it's instant failure, as opposed to the rings. So this is another Rampage mission. This is the last normal mission we do before it's just boss fight central. And this is where we get our final world ring. So same thing, it's a Rampage mission. We just beat up the same enemies. We just stomp in front of them and they disappear. You actually have to kind of be precise getting the 2 guys in the front. It's easy just to get one, but getting both of them, you have to be very precisely in the middle. I think after 12, I'm able to just keep running. So there's actually an instance where it's faster to actually engage with the level. We're actually going to very slowly homing attack in order to wait for this guy to finish blowing fire. And then there'll be the final 3 enemies here. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Smooth.
Yeah. So that's our final world ring. That was mission 5, by the way, and we did that after beating 9 and 10. And mission 5 is where we get the world ring, because, you know.
Oh, what flavor are we saying for that?
Ooh, it's purple. It could be like a grape thing.
Yeah, I was leaning towards grape. It'd be accurate for the series as well. We've got Sinbad's Stroke Knuckles.
All right, so this is the second to last mission. This is the second to last boss before the true final boss. So this is a Razor Jin. You would fight him regardless. You do not actually beat the game until you have all the world rings and you beat the actual true final boss. So after this, it'll actually be fake credits. But anyways, let's beat him up first. All right, so this is So on paper, this is not a hard fight. Like, I know exactly what he's gonna do. Like, he's gonna teleport away. Gonna do an L-shape attack. Sonic, why'd you miss? Okay. So I knew he was gonna do that, and yet I still missed the homing attack. That's just kind of a Razor in a nutshell. He's very hard to hit. This is actually the easiest thing, these face-down attacks. I wait for the text box to disappear, then I release jump. And then I hit him. So he has 25 HP. Those head-to-heads deal 6 damage. And all normal homing attacks deal 1. So unfortunately I missed the first 3 hits, which is unfortunate, but I would probably miss hits in the future, so it's not that big a deal. So yeah, he'll do a Z attack now. Not to be confused with Pokemon Sun and Moon. Also, you could just, like, stop moving, it doesn't matter. You can also, like, charge a jump and you're immune to damage. Like, you don't have to run at him. We do it because that's us doing nothing.
It's like one of those cinematic infinite hallways that just goes on forever.
You want it? You got it.
Alright, nice. You have to be really ready for that, otherwise he will slash you. And also you have to make sure your homing attack actually does the thing. Ow! Damn you, Razor. So he always does the same thing if you hit him the exact same way. So, alright, it's fine. Slow Razor. Razor's really hard to do well. Like, again, even though, like, I dodged his attack and everything, yeah, he just will stop having the homing attack be able to hit him. It's very mean. And this is at the very end of the run, so... Alright. Just needs a few more hits. I don't know what he's gonna do now, so... Let's see. He's probably gonna do something right now. Ah, dang it, Z. He also speeds up as he takes damage, so I'm not used to what speed he's at right now. It's okay, another head-to-head and he's dead, but we'll see. Okay, he just needs one more hit. Alright, that's a Razor. Yeah, tough fight to perfect. Especially if you're trying to go for like a PB or something, it's really annoying. But okay, so we just have one more fight left. The final boss. So we're gonna have fake credits. We can't skip or reset, we can't skip or access the home menu. So once that red saving screen is, happens, once we get all our notifications out of the way, we're gonna reset the console. On Wii, it's really quick because there's a reset button. On Wii U, you have to, like, go back to the Wii U menu. Like, there's no way to, like, just reset the console without turning it off. So, RTA, it's slower on Wii U. But we go with in-game time, so it doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
In terms of the leaderboard, anyway. Anyways, we have one final fight against Alph Lila Walila, and we get to become Darkspine Sonic, because we ate some of those tasty donuts. Razor Jin also ate some of those tasty Secret Ring donuts. So, alright, I'm going to get the Wii Wheel.
Yes.
This sounds like I'm memeing, but like I genuinely need this. There's a lot of shaking, and this gives me really good leverage, actually. It's crazy how good the Wii Wheel actually is in this situation. I know this seems like a joke, but I'm like dead serious.
Man, This guy's Dark Side Sonic is awesome.
Yeah, he's so cool. All right, so the goal is to fill up the soul gauge. Eraser will like do his own thing. So like even if we don't fill it up completely, like he will eventually let us do the counterattack. But it's faster if we get the soul gauge up completely, because then he'll immediately do the counterattack. So he does this big ball, we shake against it, and we kick it back. Now I take away the Wii wheel because it's easier for me to not have it. Speed break into him and then tap dance on his heart. Good tap dancing, Sonic. All right. I checked the batteries to make sure they didn't get jumbled too much and put the Wii wheel back on. It's a very complex boss to do. So it's a 3-cycle typically. It is possible 2-cycle, but it's really hard. It's like a frame perfect attack. I'm gonna hope I get to max. Okay, I don't know if that counted or not. Alright, yeah, it didn't. Oh well. Oh. Alright, get that ring so I don't die in case I get hit. Alright. So it is possible I 2-cycle him right here, but we'll see what happens. It's like a frame perfect shake that I don't know when to time, so it's really good. Alright, I'm assuming I didn't get it, so I'm just gonna... As Sonic does his little beat-up animation, we'll go back. Alright, yeah, didn't get it. So he'll do this whirlpool attack. It's really hard to bob and weave through it. Ow. Alright, so got up to max. Nice. Alright. It's basically dead. Also, Shar says you're gonna lose at the very final attack. They're supposed to do that at the very beginning of the fight, but they put the voice line in the wrong place.
Oh.
Alright, and he's dead. So time's coming up in like 10 seconds? Once it says mission complete. But yeah, that's Sonic and the Secret Rings. Anyway, Sonic is his one-liner, so... About like 7 seconds from now.
Your tale is finished, Eraser. Next time.
3, 2, 1, time.
GG.
Nice. Alright, so yeah, that's Sonic and the Secret Rings, with some big, of course, our hidden heroes. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. That's a lot of shaking you have to do. I'm sure you can see it. Whenever I exert myself, I get a little red in the face. I'm sure you saw me getting redder as that was all happening. So I'll let this CG play. This is like one of the top 5 iconic Secret Rings things, where Sonic shoots the genie lamp at him. But anyway, yeah. So it's a very... Obviously, a lot of motion control games have a bad rep, but, you know, if you really dedicate yourself to it and, like, are accepting of the controls, they're not going to be exactly how you want it. Sonic and Secret Rings is a really cool game. I think worth your time, also, but, you know, you have to go through a lot. I'm aware this is a very tough game to pick up, but if you do, it's incredible. You can... Happy to help any new runners if this interests you at all. But yeah, this will about do it to me. Also, Sonic, shoot that genie. Hell yeah.
He's not a rat. He's a hedgehog.
He is not a rat. Yeah, that's about all I got.
Kuro, if anybody wants to find what you're up to, where best would they be able to see that?
So I'm mostly active on YouTube. Search up Kuro asterisk, either spelt out or with the asterisk. I should pop up. I do a lot of Fire Emblem things. Doing a little bit back to speedrunning. I might return to Twitch to do some runs. But yeah, mostly active on YouTube. But yeah, you can also find me on Twitch and maybe I'll stream there. Who knows? I don't.
Wouldn't that be so splendid?
Wouldn't that be splendid?
May I even interest you as we quickly wrap up this Hidden Heroes? Would you be tempted to throw this in for a certain Sonic event that's happening in June? We're looking for glitched runs. Does that intrigue you?
Glitched runs? There's not too many glitches in this game, but
A few.
there's a few. Yeah, if that counts, then yeah,
Hey.
we can see.
We'd love to
We
see
can work
it,
out the
'cause-
logistics.
Yeah, because folks, on June 6th to the 7th, we're gonna have, this is the next time that you're probably gonna see me on the channel. We're gonna have the annual Sonic event with Sonic and the Glitched Gauntlet. So if you've enjoyed these Sonics with even more glitches, dare I say, then do stick around on the channel. Of course, that is Hidden Heroes for tonight. This will return in 2 weeks, Tuesday, May the 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern, of course, and with your favorite host, Anarchy, of course. I said Heavy Chevy earlier. It is, in fact, Big Ranch. Stay